Talk to them seeds, but you must demonstrate. Cause it's your ways that they gon' imitate. Non-violent. Sometimes I wish I would've went to college. Frown proudly. Cause where I'm from, they hate you when you smiling. Your faith should be your gun. You can't leave home without it. The children being grown, cause all the parents acting childish. You show them your reality, I bet they doubt it. You tell them all about your dreams, just when they out it. Your own blood. Ain't no family no more. They do you badly for show. You try to patch up your soul, Lord knows you on a mission to show him you so submissive. The prayer said in silence, you know the devil can hear him, pay attention. Know the war's within, how much time do you spend? Try to balance your zen, then again, losses is lessons. You tell me you trying to win, we know about saving money. You tell me you trying to spend that blood on it. Sweat, tears, you put that love on it. Your best years was just a dumb moment. You tired of going hungry, can't deal with fake making your life lonely. Your lack of faith that left your soul boning. But you gon' work and you gon' strive, do what it takes to survive. What is truth, what is a lie? You know that war's inside. Some get draped into the fake, they don't know what to decide. Wrong choice, meet your demise, keep that between you and I. You realize, some people you gon' let go, you visualize. The things you need to feed your soul is on the rise. They not gon' wanna let you go, but it's alright. It's cool to bury what's gon' grow. Went from wrong to the right and to the dark to the light. It was a hell of a fight. You give it all your might. Gotta hold on tight and you stay strong and precise. You fight the war that's inside, cause it might change your life. From wrong to the right and to the dark from the light. It was a hell of a fight. You give it all your might. You just hold on tight and you stay strong and precise. You fight the war that's inside, cause it might change your life. I ain't the person that I used to be. So what I do today ain't things that you used to see. Stay the same, no, things change usually. Some folk I may know might get reintroduced to me. Yeah, I ain't the person that I used to be. So what I do today ain't things that you used to see. Stay the same, no, things change usually. Some folk I may know might get reintroduced to me.
Don't be stressing on the dumb shit, cause God is gonna make a way. Just keep going and keep your faith, so you can win this race. This race called life, yeah, yeah. This race called life. This race called life, yeah, yeah. Race called life. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm grinding cause I know that I'm gon' get it. I just gotta have vision, keep faith and be humble. And have some patience with it. I've been A1 since day one, been always on my job. I never been a fake, never had to steal and rob. Cause I do good business, I'm too good with it. And even though I'm on this road, I'm still daddy to my children. You know I do good with them, and don't like being missing. But I hate when my bills are thicker and my pockets get thinner. But I can't stress up on the dumb shit, cause God is gonna make a way. I keep going and keep my faith in my pace, so I can win this race. Win this race called life. This race called life. I'm just trying to win this race called life. This race called life. This race called life, yeah. Race called life. I'm just trying to win this race called life, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I keep on running in this race called life. this race cause of life.
Got a screen share? I mean,
Girl, I just got it with this race cause of life.
yeah, let's go ahead and pause that. They know why we here.
It's your
I can't hear
boy
you.
and Luke Kakarek. Y'all know how we get down, Naga World. You know what I'm saying? Titans Debate League representing this month. You know what I'm saying? We just finna do. We really is an open panel, man. But we finna just show some videos about some different conditions in the African American community, and we just gonna discuss them, man, and try to get some panel time going, man. So y'all listen up and chime in. Don't be afraid to speak up. If you hear something that you don't agree with, let us know so we can talk about it. Share my screen real quick. So this first one is about slave patrols.
The slave patrol is where modern day police got its start. Early in the 1700s, the Carolinas saw the creation of the first official
Make
slave
that
force,
full screen.
whose only purpose was to impose a system of fear, put an end to slave uprisings, and be able to track down and return escaped slaves to their owners. The use of severe force as a tactic to maintain control and achieve acceptable slave behavior. The American South used slave labor almost exclusively, and white Southerners lived in constant worry that slave uprisings would upset the current order of things. These slave patrols thus represented one of the oldest and most widespread examples of early police in the South. Slave patrols' primary duty was to regulate the movements and conduct of people who were captives of slavery. Slave patrol, the origin of the modern day police. So sit back, relax, let's get into it. Numerous
Shout out
historical,
to aggressive
political, and economic
y'all go over there
circumstances
and support God channel. You know what I'm saying? They doing big things. You know what I'm saying? Dropping knowledge for the people, man. Y'all go support, like, share, subscribe.
may be linked to the origin and growth of the American police. However, the establishment of slavery and the control over black people were two of the most imposing historical aspects of American culture that influenced early police. Slave patrols and night watches, which ultimately evolved into modern police forces, were both created with the intention of restraining the actions of black people. Beginning in South Carolina,
God, so I want y'all to pay attention to certain things. Like even in this imagery right here. This is a woman of color. Like this is a woman of color that's in an overseer position. And you see she got the whip of her hand cracking the whip on people that look like her or him or whatever that's supposed to be him or her. But you know what I'm saying? That was a common thing. And that's another aspect that we're going to have to talk about. Gatekeepers, people who are put in place to keep us in check. You know what I'm saying? Like some of that is like preachers, pastors. A lot of times they put in place to like calm us down and to like give a narrative to us to like subside our anger and shit like that. So you know what I'm saying? You guys just keep. I just wanted to point that out to y'all. You want to comment on that, bro? Hey,
Hit it home pretty good.
All right.
these forces were both created with the intention of restraining the actions of black people. Beginning in South Carolina in 1704, slave patrols extended to the other 12 colonies and continued well after the American Revolution. Fear of slave uprisings increased as more Africans were bought into slavery and more people came into slavery in South Carolina, particularly when the cotton gin was invented. When previous forms of slave control proved ineffective in stopping the resistance of the enslaved, they devised slave patrols. Since plantations had the greatest concentration of enslaved people, keeping them there against their will was their main priority. To encourage non slave owning whites to be more attentive In the apprehension of runaway slaves, slave owners first gave incentives to them in the form of tobacco and money. Slave patrols were officially instituted when this strategy was unsuccessful. Lawmakers proposed legislation that included white people in the control of enslaved people's movements and activities. I do swear that I will, as searcher for guns, swords, and other weapons among the slaves in my district, faithfully and as privately as I can, discharge the trust reposed in me as the law directs to the best of my power. So help me God. Oath of the North Carolina Slave Patrol. Black enslaved individuals experienced interrogations, searches, and other forms of abuse. According to slave code, slaves who were found without passage from their white masters were supposed to be sent back to their master's plantation. When slaves were discovered by patrols and brought back to their owners, they were subject to whippings and other forms of physical abuse.
Again, and I'm gonna keep pointing these out. Who's doing the whipping? Who doing the whipping? You see, it's a person that look like the person that's doing the whipping. Now I know y'all want to ask, like, why do I keep pointing that out? Because if you want to know where the distrust comes from in our community, this where it comes from. When people that look like you do this type of stuff to you, when you're supposed to be trusted in people that look like you know what I'm saying, to have your back and you know what I'm saying, lend aid and support, they doing this type of stuff to you. So it's kind of hard to trust them, right? Look at how the white man sitting back parlaying, he kicking it, he chilling. He not seen as the person that's doing the pain and the trauma. It's the black man that's looked at doing the pain and the trauma. So eventually you just grow a disdain for your own. This is how you create a self-hating nigga. This is how you create one. But I'm gonna keep going.
Forms of physical abuse, as well as the prospect of being put up for auction and sold away from their family, which is a possibility for owners who no longer wanted to cope with non-compliant slaves. Slave patrols aided affluent landowners in retrieving and punishing slaves who were largely seen as property, as well as maintaining the economic order. Apart from slave owners and overseers, slave patrollers had their own responsibilities and advantages. Slave patrollers often carry firearms and whips and use force to return slaves to their masters. Slaves periodically devised a variety of strategies to oppose slave patrols, occasionally retaliating violently. In the beginning, breaking up slave gatherings was the first task of slave patrols. On holidays, the slaves would hold these gatherings to plot uprisings and revolts. Slave patrols eventually became year-round, not only on special occasions. As time went
Now y'all hear that? Y'all hear that, right? So our meetings and gathering places were actually places of resistance, organizing and resisting. See, y'all forgot that. Y'all just keep taking y'all ass to the damn church, praising Jesus and going around in that circle and on that hamster wheel over and over again, when you forgot. Like, I was having this conversation with a guy yesterday about this, is that, you know what I'm saying, we had a mixture of Southern Baptist, Ifa, and Native American rituals as far as our spiritual system go. They wasn't worshiping Jesus. They was worshiping Shango, the god of fire and lightning. He's a warrior like that. Like that's why they was banging back, because they was not following no pacifist Jesus. But they, on the outside, they would look like they praising and worshiping Jesus. You see what I'm saying? And over time, you just do that for so long that you forgot that you was playing along. You just kind of forgot that you was playing, and you done drunk the Kool-Aid. Now you believe that you're a Christian, but you was never a Christian. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to point that out, that our gathering places were places where we actually organized and think tank type organizations came up with plans and then executed those plans. It's the reason why they didn't want you to assemble, not because niggas is just powerful in numbers, but because when you get together, y'all start thinking together. Y'all start thinking, y'all start galvanizing with each other, and that's what they don't want. They don't want black people galvanized. They don't want a coalition of black people. They spend billions and billions of dollars to keep y'all divided, billions and billions of dollars to keep y'all separated from each other, billions and billions of dollars just to keep y'all at odds with each other. I got more money than you. I got better shoes than you. I got a better car than you. Whatever the little bickering is, they spend billions of dollars every year just to make sure to maintain that system. So,
slave patrols eventually became year-round, not only on special occasions. As time went on, slave patrollers were given more responsibility and rights, such as the ability to apprehend runaways, monitor the rigid pass requirements for enslaved people traveling the countryside, disperse large gatherings and assemblies of slaves, visit and search slave quarters at random, and administer punishment immediately. In Georgia, slave patrols had the legal right to enter any Georgia plantation without a warrant. They frequently searched the quarters and homes of those who were still being held as slaves, looking for stolen.
I'm pausing it again. They still doing this shit to you niggas. They still doing this to you right now, and I mean not just black people, but I'm talking to my niggas right now. So, they doing it. They still doing this to you. They still going in your house, no warrants. They still shaking y'all down, going through y'all personal artifacts and whatnot. Ain't nothing changed for real. Like it's just more less shrewd. It's more shrewd. Like you can't tell it because it's subtle. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna keep this rolling.
Goods, runaways from slavery, weapons that could be used in an uprising, or signs of literacy and education, such as books, papers, and pens. Teachings those who were still being held as slaves to read was against Georgia law. The majority of slave patrol members were from the working and middle class backgrounds. Typically, slave patrols traveled on horseback in packs of 4 or 5, sometimes including families. To reduce the likelihood of slave escapes, they often patrolled at different times and places and worked from sunup to sundown. They didn't employ any specialized tools. Whips and intimidation were instead their main equipment. In certain areas, any white man was obligated to detain and reprimand any slave caught outside of his house without the right documentation. Failure to do so resulted in 40 shillings fine in early South Carolina. In certain cases, white men encouraged slaves to run away so that they might be paid if they were caught. The power slave patrollers had was not without its restrictions. For instance, although beatings and whippings were tolerated, a deterrent was also present. This was due to the fact that if whipped or otherwise severely punished, a slave was then useless to their owner the next day as workers. As a result, slave owners may retaliate against overly violent slave patrollers. This agreement specifies the duties of the slave patrol and names Horace L. Roberts as its commander for the month of January 1856
pull up the other video
in
after
Salisbury, North Carolina.
So you got to pull up that other video.
Which one, about the Klan?
Yeah. This nigga boring.
I'm gonna switch to it now.
Yeah. I like the history though.
Yeah.
He sound more exciting than him building on it.
It's kind of monotone.
Yeah. We sound more exciting than him. We could have gave it. The panel is open. Anybody want to hop on up? Share what's on your mind, what's on your heart. You know how we doing it over here. Coliseum of Arguments, only the brave speak here. We're going to be rocking and rolling all night again.
Identified Black identity extremists as a threat to law enforcement. Critics say the report is eerily similar to the FBI's 20th century counterintelligence program.
COINTELPRO was an FBI operation established in the 50s by J. Edgar Hoover to target African Americans who were fighting for justice and equality. He targeted Dr. King, he targeted Malcolm X, and over 80% of the targets of COINTELPRO were members of the Black Panther Party.
At the height of COINTELPRO, activists and community organizers were targeted. These include current Congressional Black Caucus members like John Lewis, Bobby Rush, Emmanuel Cleaver, and Barbara Lee.
The church committee in the mid-70s held hearings and determined that many of the actions and activities of COINTELPRO were really unconstitutional.
What you've described is a series of illegal actions intended squarely to deny First Amendment rights to some Americans. How shall we ensure that it never happen again?
One of the similarities that I see are that it's based on race. COINTELPRO definitely targeted African Americans. Black identity extremists, which Attorney General Jeff Sessions has put out, targets African Americans. When it was brought to our attention, we immediately contacted the FBI director and had a very forthright meeting. I specifically asked him, how do they identify Black identity extremists? Who are they? And there was no answer to that. We still don't know who's a Black identity extremist.
A lot of activists around the country are very concerned that we're getting ready to repeat a very sad chapter of our history, where people who are rightfully protesting what they consider to be an injustice in their community, which is their relationship with police officers, are now being targeted and labeled as extremists and are going through periods of surveillance and harassment.
As a community worker, I attended many Black Panther Party functions. I was part of the breakfast program. We registered many people, the African American community and others, to vote. Well, the FBI during COINTELPRO would try to turn members of the Black Panther Party against each other. Agent provocateurs were placed within the party to try to sow dissent.
I was the coordinator of the Illinois.
So like that go back to my point right there. It's like they spend billions every year, like they keep a wedge in between you and like to keep y'all disorganized. So like you gotta think about when you deal with like your enemy, like the method that your enemy take to subdue you, you got to pay attention to that. Like if your enemy went and go and put some chains on you, and it take 40 tons to break the chains, what does that say about you? What does that say the enemy think about you? What is it like you got to think psychologically, what does that say about you? You know what I'm saying? So you don't really truly understand your power because you ain't never really expressed it. And what they scared of is a coalition. They get scared of a conglomerate of people doing any one thing. It don't matter what it is. Any one thing you do together as a people is going to throw off the system because they used to you playing this script. They used to you going by this script. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, y'all seeing it in real time.
Joint chapter of Black Panther Party. In December 4th, 1969, Fred Hampton and Mark Clark, two members of the Black Panther Party, were murdered. They put an informant, William O'Neill, planted him inside the Panther Party.
We can mourn today, but if we understood, Fred, that we are dedicated, that his life wasn't given in vain.
The national director of the said that the Black Panther Party was the #1 threat to national security of this nation. And that created the condition for law enforcement agents all across this nation.
See, and that's what I'm talking about right there. Like, when a racist motherfucker is in position of power and they can galvanize the law, they can galvanize the government against us like that. You know what I'm saying? What they was doing, nation building, there's nothing wrong with that. Like all across the country, when y'all go into various neighborhoods, you see places that are called community centers and shit like that. Like we got a Jewish community center here, we got a Turkish community center. Like we got all these different nationality resource centers and stuff like that around. You don't never see Black resource centers, like African you know, African American, maroon, like you know, just you don't see the stuff aimed towards our people. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like I don't know. I don't know how y'all neighborhood set up, but ours not like that. Like we used to have recreational centers and stuff like that in the hood, and it's like all that stuff gone. Like it's just desolate. I'm just saying.
Yeah, a lot of ours closed down. It's still a few up, a few of the boxing gyms and stuff like that.
Are you familiar with some of the people they talking about on here?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
They
Some
going
of
in.
these guys are still in Congress. Some of these people are still
Mm-hmm.
in government right now. You know what I'm saying? And like y'all gotta understand, like they went through hell and high water to terrorize us to keep us out of government. Like y'all don't know how many black people was really in government before the Ku Klux Klan and the white what they call the White League and all the rest of them ran black people out of government. Like the government was full of black people, full of black people. Like we was all the professionals that you see around. We were them because we was the slaves. We was the ones being made to do all the work. So we already knew how to do everything. You know what I'm saying? Not so much now. You know what I'm saying? Most of y'all just don't know how to do but rapping. You know what I'm saying?
Who has to pet that program that they did, in some sense, we ought to be thankful because that put in writing for everybody to see. We're still in the eyes of so many, nothing but a bunch. Was I surprised? No. I fully expected it to happen. Now the question is, how do we deal with it?
People need to get to their members of Congress and get them a copy of this report and hold their members of Congress accountable. In this day and time, they could really stop and halt the progressive movements that are taking place in the country. And I think with Black Lives Matter, with the Dreamers, with all of our millennials and what they're doing, they deserve to be out there and to protest and to engage in petitioning their government to right the wrongs of the past. Those of us who've been around, who saw COINTELPRO, really know the risks and the dangers. And so I hope that people really believe us that this happened, because this is COINTELPRO 2.0.
COINTEL 2.0. Like, can y'all really phantom that? Like, I mean, I don't believe that they ever shut down the program. I think they just renamed it, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm writing that.
It's just part of the regular operations. And I think it's doing well, obviously, as you see the state of the masses as far as, you know, their line of thinking, what we're concerned about. It's working very well.
Here go another one right here, man. Let's keep it going.
What situations, what you think COINTELPRO has had their hands on in the last 5 years?
In the last 5 years?
Yep.
Most definitely all that flat earth bullshit.
I think that was COINTELPRO for the black community.
Yeah, man, like COINTELPRO, it's counterintelligence. It's counterintelligence. Anything that keep you running around in a catch-22 and it's not progressive is some COINTELPRO bullshit. All of it. Like I mean, all the way down, even all the way down to our culture when it comes to hip hop and how we see ourselves in music and all of that stuff is COINTELPRO. All of that stuff is fed to you and taught to you. You know what I'm saying? Like say for instance, prior to black exploitation films, niggas wasn't running around trying to be pimps and drug dealers and shit. They wasn't. They was not trying to be pimps and drug dealers and stuff, man. But then when they put that stuff into the black exploitation film, now keep in mind, they movies that they was coming out with, all they people wasn't drug dealers and pimps and hoes and convicts and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? But that's the image that they fed the people. You know what I'm saying? And it's like once you take a hold of that image and you embrace it, bro, you become that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then I just told you about how they did with the whole Christianity thing, like how we'll forget. We'll do something, we'll play along with something for so long that we'll forget that we was playing along with it and we actually think it's real. Niggas do.
Or ours. We think like it's ours.
We think it's ours, right. Like we did it. Like you know what I'm saying? And it's like it's crazy. It's the same thing that we do with the hood. The hood is a ruin. It's a ruin. It's battle torn. It's a ruin, and you're claiming it. I'm talking about to the point where you're willing to die over it. You know what I'm saying? Like that. It's that level of commitment. If you could put that level of commitment to science, technology, engineering, mathematics, if you could do that, bro, we'll be running the world. I keep telling y'all, if we could just take 10% of the energy that y'all put into religion and sports, we could just take 10% of it, not even all of it, just 10%. If we could just take 10% of that and put that in any other field, African Americans would rule the world. We would rule the world. I mean, like we do stuff effortlessly. We do things with a grace that most people, you know what I'm saying, got to learn, got to go to school to learn. You know what I'm saying? Everything we do is fly. So, I mean, imagine when you get physics in the hands of black children. You see what they do with hip hop? You see how they manifest and mold hip hop and what they do with words, and like you understand, like they can do that same thing with atoms and electrons. They could do that same thing with wires and motherboards. They could do those same things, but instead, y'all rather feed them debauchery and then complain about the condition of society. I just don't understand it. It's like it's so counterproductive, man.
So counterproductive. Let's get into it.
It's so illogical. I feel like Spock in this bitch, you know.
No, you're right though. That's the whole reason for the counterintelligence program. So
yeah. I mean, and then like when you read they mission statement, one of their statements was to stop the rise of a black messiah. And like I keep trying to tell people, like, okay, why a black messiah, nigga? Why not a messiah? Just say a messiah. Why you gotta put black in front of it? Why not a yellow messiah? Why not the brown messiah? Why not a white messiah? What about why a black messiah? Why is a black messiah so damn threatening to you? What about the idea of I really want somebody to, I want a psychologist to sit down and really psychoanalyze the COINTELPRO program, because that like the whole J. Edgar Hoover era, like that stuff really needs to be psychologically broke down, because it don't make no damn logical sense, man. Like they killed innocent people, they was wiretapping, they was just doing everything illegal under the sun, all under the J. Edgar Hoover, man. You know what I'm saying? And these are people like they supposed to be your shield.
Let's play a game. I'm gonna shout out a list, and you tell me if you think it's COINTELPRO or
all right.
Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard.
No.
You don't think he's COINTELPRO?
Nah.
Okay.
And the only reason why I don't think that is because he giving high science. He giving out high science. He making you think. They don't want you thinking with no physics level information. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't enslave a people who can think. Like when you got physics level information in your head, you know how hard it is to keep them people in slavery? They have been built some weapons from scratch on your ass. They have been whipped up some hydro acid and melted your ass while you sleep. Like you can't do that to people with that type of information in their head. So they want to keep you religion, materialistic shit, stuff like that. They want to keep you going in that little loop. But yeah, but Terrence Howard pulled away from it, which made me think like maybe he not with it, but they so cunning. You know what I'm saying? They so cunning they could still slip some shit in there and be like, you know, and he still be one of them. What else you got?
Okay. Al Sharpton.
Oh, most definitely. Shit. Hell yeah.
Most definitely counterintelligence.
Yeah. Most definitely. The fact that he's not dead already, yeah. Yeah, he should. I mean, and with that being said, I'm gonna say Jesse Jackson too. All that whole little squad that was on that terrorist with him. I think all of them guilty because I mean, if you're a white supremacist and you had a chance to take out number 1, 2, and 3, wouldn't you do it? Why just take out one? They after they pop Buddy, all they did was turn around and point, right? Or was that just for the picture op? That was for a picture op or some shit. Like what was going on there? No, I'm just saying, like, how you catch the niggas pointing? How you catch the niggas pointing unless you was? I mean, like, the camera was already set up. The cameraman was already there.
Yeah, that's facts.
Huh? I don't know. I'm just saying. Like I said, I say all
look into that.
We gotta look into it. Maybe that was like later on, and they was reenacted. They was sitting there, and they was just like, oh, and the shots all came from there. Maybe that was one of them. I don't know. All I know is if Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton was right there with Martin Luther King, I don't see why their ass wouldn't have got clapped too.
Let's get into this. I looked up counter and COINTELPRO. This is Wikipedia. You know, some people don't use this, but for the sake of the show, we'll go with this for right now. COINTELPRO, derived from counterintelligence program, was a series of covert and illegal projects conducted between 1956 and 1971. And, you know, of course, we still think it's going on today, but back to the article. By the United States Federal Bureau of Investigations, aimed at surveilling, infiltrating, discrediting, and disrupting American political parties and organizations that the FBI perceived as subversive. So let's see what sources it has over here for these. Okay, management and communication.
Go back and put the cursor on subversive so people know what that word means.
Black nationalist hate groups, activities and the rights of Americans.
Ain't none of them hate groups though.
I know. I was just reading.
And that's the scary part. That's why I keep trying to tell people, like, when you're dealing with law, when you're dealing with the government and all that bullshit, like, it's all trick. It's all trick knowledge. Ain't nothing ever what it seems. I don't believe nothing coming off the mainstream narrative, man. It's right in my face. Yeah, man. I think they still doing this shit. I think they just renamed the program. It ain't called COINTELPRO no more.
Yeah,
it's called NSA or whatever the fuck else they call the shit now.
And let's read the abstract on this. I went to one of the sources, and it brought me to Managed Communication Quarterly, Organizational Secrecy in the FBI's COINTELPRO Black Nationalist Hate Groups Program. So they labeled any left-leaning black political parties as a hate group. Right. Lean left, you know. And what do we see today? We see the same thing. So if you don't share their ideals, they'll demonize you as being an extremist, or, you know, part of a hate group. The abstract says, in this article, we explain how secrecy influenced the communication and decision-making processes within COINTELPRO Black nationalist hate groups. The FBI's covert program to disrupt left-leaning black political organizations, again, it says left-leaning black political organizations between 1967 and 1971. Memos exchanged between the FBI director and field offices reveal how the organization strategized to conceal its identity as the source of anonymous communication. The Bureau developed explicit techniques for managing the content of their messages, the materials used to construct print messages, and the distribution of those messages. The Bureau's techniques suggest that organizational secrecy involves a high degree of coordination between members, but it may also endanger the organization's longevity and the public welfare. Very telling. You know, I guess I'd say we're lucky that this stuff even made it out, you know.
Yeah.
Because if they had it their way, this would still all be one big secret. And I don't know how I sign up to this website.
I think it still is, though. I mean, like, they put this out here to make you believe that the shit is done. To make you believe that it's called COINTELPRO. It's counterintelligence. You can't believe shit. You can't believe nothing. It's counterintelligence. That's what it's the CIA. They're counterintelligence. That's what their whole job is to put out disinformation to confuse you.
I like this. They want $40 just to read the article. They hustling.
Oh hell no. Hell no.
They hustling.
Yeah, they ain't playing.
Yeah, they serious about that. They little spread.
Let me hit play.
Times article published in August of 2020 notes that confidence in law enforcement is at a record low, while calls for change have reached a fever pitch in the public consciousness. Ongoing protests erupted across the United States, with international actions arising in solidarity. Videos posted on social media sites reveal what citizen protesters see as enduring law enforcement violence and extrajudicial killings of people in Black, brown, and impoverished communities. In some camps, people have started to dismiss bad apple arguments that frame law enforcement abuses as individual aberrations. Instead, they point to historical precedents that are embedded in the very foundations of the institution of policing. Rather than reforms like chokehold bans or body cameras, activists and organizers suggest that defunding or even abolition of the institution of policing is the only way to prevent future violence and death. It may be hard to imagine a world without police, but all it takes is a little historical digging to see that they haven't been around forever, and this isn't the first time there's been a demand for police reform of some kind. So today we're going to look at policing, from its colonial origins to the modern day, as well as attempts to change the institution over time. In the early American colonies, policing was neither centralized nor standardized. Groups of night watchmen and patrols often worked under a hodgepodge of different systems depending on their geographical locations. Their aims were fairly similar, as property owners and private companies contracted people for hire as protection from thieves and ne'er-do-wells. In a bitterly ironic twist, colonial settlers were especially paranoid that nearby displaced indigenous peoples might encroach on their settlements. Between the 1630s and 1700, Boston, New York, and Philadelphia implemented night watch systems that mostly relied on volunteers, though some were paid. These people would sign up for dates and times to patrol, often sent to make sure locals were neither gambling nor engaging in sex work-related activities. This system was extremely inefficient, as night watch also served as punishment for some people, tempting volunteers to participate in the vices they were meant to watch. Frequently, these night watchmen spent their shifts getting drunk and falling asleep while on duty. Southern colonies focused on protecting other forms of property. Priorities rested on the maintenance of human chattel, enslaved Africans upholding colonial economies. The first American slave patrols were formed in the first decade of the 18th century in the Carolinas. These groups of 3 to 6 patrolmen often traveled on horseback, carrying whips, ropes, and guns. Enslavement led to the enactment of slave codes that patrols enforced. Night watches in the northern colonies had similar duties. Though chattel enslavement was less practiced there, these watches were still tasked with controlling enslaved populations. Connecticut and New York even passed slave laws that served the same function. These laws criminalized attempts at escape and rebellions of the enslaved against their enslavers. Over the next
You there?
At this point, their religion is white supremacy, and they religious practices is terrorism.
Your background kind of loud, cuz.
Huh?
Your background kind of loud. Go ahead. You good? Oh, you playing the video?
police of the metropolis. Influenced by ideas from the Scottish Enlightenment, Colquhoun's treatise has been credited with reforming night watches into a means of maintaining social order. Rather than just surveilling crimes, they would discipline labor. These reforms required prioritization of moral reform for members of the lower classes in rapidly urbanizing areas. Members of the middle and upper classes welcomed this new development, while everyone else resisted. Regardless of this resistance, municipal police forces started to form in the late 1820s. These new ideas gained traction and spread internationally. Across the pond, American cities began instituting municipal police forces, one of which was founded in Boston in 1838. Increasing urbanization and immigration from places like Germany and Ireland meant that people perceived older methods of social control as insufficient. That many of these immigrants were Catholic further marked them as dangerous others. Communities of freed Black people in northern states were not policed or detained as frequently, except when moving outside of the boundaries of their segregated sections of the city. Police were also asked to watch for potential threats of labor activity. Violence between police and striking workers, even if instigated or propagated by the police, could be framed as less a matter of private interest disciplining laborers than a force for public good curbing riots and maintaining order. By the 1850s, police corruption became rampant. Like their night watch predecessors, members would often break the law, like soliciting sex workers, gambling, and public drunkenness. Being in such close proximity to these types of activities left members of the police vulnerable.
These niggas is gangsters. They're gangsters. You don't hear all that shit?
Of the highest degree.
I mean, bruh. I know gangsters when I hear it because they getting drunk, they fucking hoes, they pimping, they running numbers, they doing the whole 9 yards, bro. Like they doing and they still doing it to this day, man.
Vulnerable to bribes. Leaders of the municipal party machines would choose police captains and sergeants and even use the police to harass political opponents. Municipalities eventually allowed police forces to carry weapons because they had already begun to do so. Local denizens feared the police and faced the brunt of these often corrupt and newly armed groups. Meanwhile, in the South, patrols continued to enforce slave codes, which required even average citizens to maintain vigilance. Fugitive enslaved people remained the responsibility of patrolmen, but deputized the average citizen. While the U.S. Civil War left this system of enslavement, as well as the laws and enforcers.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I keep saying that shit is the cover for it. Like that's you got racism, but the cover for racism is law and order. Law and order is the new age white supremacy. I think it's a cover term. Like it's not really law and order. Nigga, law and order really means white supremacy.
That upheld it nominally conquered. This sympathetic relationship between official patrollers and vigilant citizens continued as the institution of policing in the southern United States came to look more like that of the North. In the post-Civil War era, slave codes gave way to black codes. These laws controlled where formerly enslaved people could go, where they could work and live, where they could travel, and even how much they could be paid. Instead of disbanding, patrolmen shifted their focus, arresting freed black people, including children, on minor charges as a way of incorporating them into systems of servitude, like the convict leasing system. Prisons could then lease their detainees to private companies through convict leasing and tenant farming systems, or crop liens, which helped keep black, newly minted citizens indebted to their former enslavers. Like the slave codes, the black codes legitimized white supremacist extrajudicial vigilantism and anti-black violence. They also paved the way for the Jim Crow era. Lynch mobs and vigilante groups were common throughout the United States, often with implicit or explicit blessings from local police officers. To learn more about this history, you can watch our videos on why do we have private prisons and the racist origins of US law. By 1900, police work faced more reforms, not because of the racial animosity or vigilantism, but because police were often repeating the behaviors of their night watch predecessors by participating in illicit activities or accepting bribes for favors. Around this time, August Vollmer emerged as an influential figure who both advocated for progressive reforms and encouraged more systematic study of policing. Vollmer served as a police chief in Berkeley, California, and founded an early department of criminology as a professor at UC Berkeley. He envisioned and enacted a new policing system that soon spread from police precincts in California throughout the United States.
Say pause.
No, I was just reading his name, August Vollmer.
Police were
look like.
required to attend college. Their work duties often involved elements of psychology, management, social work, and sociology. But a new era of policing was on the horizon. In 1919, the passage of the 18th Amendment prohibited the manufacture and sale of alcohol, which created a vacuum for organized crime to fill. In 1929, President Herbert Hoover appointed the Wickersham Commission. Its main duty was to examine problems with law enforcement. Over the next 2 years, the commission produced 14 volumes on their findings. One volume, entitled Lawlessness and Law Enforcement, documented widespread corruption, while another volume, The Police, led to a bevy of reforms for law enforcement across the country, such as remapping of police precincts in order to reduce the chance of political pressure, increasing standards in order to recruit higher quality officers, reducing the duties of officers, updating technologies for ease of information gathering, and diversification of police officers from different races and familiar with immigrant language, habits, custom, and cultural background. Throughout the 1950s, professionalism became a priority. Police officer and author Orlando Winfield Wilson gained widespread influence on American policing. His book, Police Administration, in many ways served as the blueprint for reforms to improve police effectiveness and again change the institution of policing. Professionalism became the goal, marking an effort to consolidate and centralize in order to maintain order and prevent corruption within these organizations. Working as a police officer became a career trajectory, which was a relatively new phenomenon. In The Police in America, an introduction, historian Samuel Walker claims the mid-century shift towards professionalization had unintended consequences for police departments across the United States. Bureaucratization, centralization of authority, and installation of a quasi-militaristic ranking system changed the inner workings of departments, allowing them to turn inward and become more disconnected from the public. New stop and frisk methods further antagonized community members, often young, male, and minority, who felt the brunt of unwarranted encounters and conflict with the local police. These communities, especially impoverished and/or minority, felt that this model encouraged police repression. The long-standing concerns of Black citizens began to take center stage.
Say what?
Your audio good over there? That shit loud in my ear.
The background.
No, not the background. Just or her audio good. Whoever did this dub all that.
Hey, they got rid of them whips and they got them batons. It's the same thing. It just ain't got the little string part on it.
Yeah, that's wild that they was busting shins out there with that and cracking heads with them. I wonder what them made at, man.
And that's what I'm saying. Like they need to be. They don't need no extra fucking oath, and they don't need no damn labor union. We already got labor union.
In the 1960s. Tired of racial harassment and terror, they challenged not only laws, but law enforcement in efforts to gain equal civil rights footing and bring their struggles into the public purview. Despite some advancements in the civil rights movement, this combination of disconnect and antagonism grew through the 1970s as the benefits of public employee unionization offered new rights for police departments. Despite the power to make more demands, local politicians were able to use municipal fiscal crises and mismanagement to create scapegoats out of police unions. Police departments often use tactics familiar to labor organizers to help them leverage demands. Blue flus, or in other words, unofficial worker strikes, disguised as uncoordinated sick days and work slowdowns, grew in number throughout the 1970s and 80s. Instead of acquiescing, local city officials would counter these tactics with budget cuts. Police departments were further reduced in number and went through a period of what's known as tailorization. Duties became highly specialized and fragmented, causing officers to relinquish some of them to other public employees. There were unintended consequences, though. Efficiency was reduced in many departments, which led to further disconnect between police departments and the public. Today, anyone with a smartphone can now document violent and often racialized encounters with the police, which has reshaped notions of public vigilance and raised concerns about how the police should fit into society. While some stakeholders across the
I went and got a body cam off of Amazon for $20. You know what I'm saying? And I record anytime I have an encounter. I keep mine in the car. You know what I'm saying? I record mine because the actual city police where we're at don't have body cams. I think they have it on their car though. They do have one of those, and it comes on when the lights come on. The sheriffs in our territory, though, they do have body cams, and their car does have a cam. But knowing that, I went ahead and got my own so I can document any and every encounter, because any encounter I have with them, I always get the footage.
Do it matter? Shit, the public can't subpoena the body cam footage no way.
Yes, you can. All you have to do is do what's called an open records request. Due to the FOIA Act, the Freedom of Information Act, anybody can go and do it. You can do it anonymously, and you can do it for anybody's case. This is probably why, I'm not sure if you have like a local busted page that posts everybody's picture when they're arrested, maybe on Facebook.
Yeah.
And probably started out as a newspaper. We have one of those out here. That's how they get all the information. Just like every time I encounter them, sometimes when I don't have my camera and I'm in somebody else's car, you go to wherever it is and you just do an open records request, and they have to give it to you. Sometimes they'll retract some things. Like in the videos I have, it's silent when they're talking before they encounter.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They didn't doctor the motherfucker.
Yeah, and they black out some of the text and things that are on the screen, so that way I don't see what code or if maybe, I don't know, frequency they're on the radio they're on. I'll pull up one of those videos here shortly. I'll do that right now while you're finishing this out.
All right.
Country view the police as simply doing their job. Others have begun to call for reforms or even defunding the police. Communities and activists calling for reforms have pushed for ideas like the 8 Can't Wait campaign at the municipal level, which includes policies such as banning chokeholds, warning before shooting, and comprehensive incident reporting. Others have called for implementation of required body-worn cameras for police officers. This didn't reach national attention until Michael Brown's family called for police body cameras in 2014, after police officer Darren Wilson shot and killed Brown in Ferguson, Missouri. Police unions question the efficacy of the cameras, while civil liberties advocates question how they might affect the rights of people who have encounters with the police.
She said police unions. Let me go back. She said police unions question the efficiency of the cameras, while civil liberties advocate question. So when she say police union, you know who she talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Why would they be against it? Oh yeah, that's right. Because them motherfuckers that's giving the impunity to the motherfuckers. They the shield for them. That's why they're able to get away with all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they got them hot powered ass lawyers and whatever, man.
Liberties advocates question how they might affect the rights of people who have encounters with the police. People who have been calling for defunding the police argue that shrinking police budgets could open funds for other social service programs that might better fulfill the needs of people going through mental health crises, alcohol.
Defund the police. I know you got a debate coming up on this this week against Pandemic's African. Should the fraternal order of police be disbanded?
Yeah, like I wanted to point that out. Is like it's a difference between the fraternal order of police and the police department. You know what I'm saying? Those are two different entities. One is a labor union, and then one is a government sanctioned body. You know what I'm saying? They're not the same thing. A lot of people think they're the same thing.
Some point to the unintended consequences that resulted from defunding the police in the 1970s, and others point to the history linking the institutions of policing.
My bad.
Supremacist infiltration of law enforcement, published in 2006, and a leaked 2015 counterterrorism policy guide. This guide documented how white supremacist organizations have been attempting to infiltrate police departments by having members attempt to join as recruits or encouraging relationships between these organizations' members and individual officers. These activists look to past and present abolition movements against slavery and against prisons for inspiration. What the future holds for law enforcement in the United States is anyone's guess. perhaps things will settle and nothing will change. But what the history of law enforcement points to is an ever-changing institution with a troubled and, for some, troubling past. Hey Originauts, this is just a reminder that you can become a member of our Patreon page. Starting at $3 a month, you can gain access to a patrons-only feed with all types of cool behind-the-scenes footage, as well as 24-hour early access to every new video. And at some of our higher...
Yeah, I'll go ahead and play one of these traffic stops I had. Started from the top. This is in Lake County, Ohio, about 2 or 3 years ago. I'll come in and start narrating here shortly. Oh, it's muted.
And more. Hey everybody, if you're watching this, this is Mr. Knowledge is Power, Mr. King of Receipts, A1. And I need you to go subscribe to my new law channel. This ain't Nazi Germany. We're going to be doing First Amendment audits, ID refusals, and more. This is a police encounter I had with Lake County Sheriff's Department, Officer Gaylog, badge number 77, and I give him an A on his report card. He didn't violate my rights. He was very respectful. I sent him packing on his way real fast. And let's get into it.
Boy, one second.
Go ahead.
I'll be out with it. How's it going? You guys live here, or you guys going to the
My family live here.
Okay, yeah. Somebody just called and said they didn't think you guys were from here, so they we didn't. Yeah, just making sure everything's all right. So you guys go to the festival yet? Okay, yeah, no problem. You got an ID on you just so I can get out of here. And then, no, I'm just checking up on a suspicious car. That's all. Okay, I didn't say you committed a crime, so yeah, I understand. As long as you guys don't need any help from me. All right, you too. Yeah. Deputy Gaylog, 77. Yes, sir. All right, you too.
And he does the walk of shame. Man, stop playing with me. A1 in the building, man. And knowledge is power, man. Facts, receipts. You know what I'm saying? Later on, I'm going to be showing you how to sue these people if they actually do violate your rights and try to force you to give them your ID.
Yeah. I do that too. The First Amendment audits and all of that, you know. I'm heavy into the First Amendment audits. Dad, you know what? Let me play another video.
Yeah,
First,
man.
we were just talking about FOIA requests and the open records requests. So let's go over that for the people who don't know, because if you didn't know that, that's very important. You can do that for anybody. If you hear somebody gets arrested, you can go up there. You don't even have to know their name. You can kind of know like where it happened and what time, and they'll get you that video. I usually have to pay like $8. They charge me for the flash drive that they're putting the information on, but it's actually free. So let's get into how to file an open records request, and you find a quick short video, something not too long. And it's because it's a public record, so I'm just trying to find something that looks universal. This is also how journalists get the footage. This is how they got little King Vons. I mean, all that footage and stuff that they get from the jails. There are certain reasons why they may not release certain things if investigations are open and other things like that. But if that's not the case, you know, this is all up for grabs and open to the public.
I'm gonna say, we're gonna have to get us.
I'm not sharing my screen. I thought I was sharing my screen.
No, not yet. We're gonna have to get us some chess here going soon.
Yeah. We could have did this on the chessboard.
Sure could have. Still can.
Hi, I'm looking to file an open records request?
You've come to the right place. We're going to show you the basics of submitting an open records request. You can go online to the City of Dallas Open Records portal at dallascityhall.com. There you can create an account to make and track
Police
your
records, if you see on the screen.
You can
You can also request the police notes. I should have had it. I didn't know we were about to pull this up. This is some generic video. So when you get that, you also get the police notes, any notes that they keep in their cell phone.
What?
Yeah, you get all of that. I've done it several times. I heard them profiling my house. The one time they pulled up, they didn't retract that, where they were like running all of the plates of everybody in my driveway, like already prior to them pulling up, like a bunch of illegal stuff. Violating our rights. Nobody had violated a crime for them to be able to be running their plates. So it was just crazy turn of events. It was all over a loose dog. It was
that's illegal for the police to do that shit.
Well, they violated your rights. They're supposed to. You're already parked. It's not necessarily illegal, but it goes against the search and seizure. You see what I'm saying? So, like, if they have no PC to say that you did anything, why are they running plates? Like, it's just to see who's home. Like, they were doing a lot. And you know the saying, absolute power corrupts absolutely. So this is universal. This isn't just a black or white thing. As I'm sure you're going to get into in that debate. Open records request. Let me find this guy real quick. Batsy Shea, I think his name is. There he goes. Okay. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this guy. I'm not subscribed on this page. Let me get subscribed. And we'll watch some of his First Amendment audits. He does this too. He's a Texas law student, and this is what kind of got me into learning this and into it, watching his videos. Go to videos. And he goes out on the weekends.
How did you feel your first time doing it?
Sorry about that.
Your first time doing your first audit of the police, like, was you nervous?
No, I was well prepared. Before I did an audit, I had already went to the court and challenged the jurisdiction several times and won. So I was confident. I'm about to go back out and do it again from the passenger seat, and we're going to actually take a headlight out of the car. So we know we're going to get a warning or a ticket. The driver should, but they should try to ID me as well. And I know in my state I don't have to provide that unless they suspect me of a crime. But we're going to be filming the whole time, so there will be no crime that they can suspect me of. I'm in hopes that they violate my rights, so that way I can go ahead and get a couple dollars up out of them. He has times on here where it doesn't go right. Well, not all the time. You get overzealous cops who try to make up a reason to lock you up, and then he shows you how to do the open records request and actually sue these people. So, a lot of stuff I learned from him. I'm actually trying to find one of my favorite videos, but I can't. Where is it at? Him in the orange vest is one of the ones I'm looking for. This was another classic. Him in Texas. We're gonna play this one, the ultimate cop baiter. That's what they call him. Can you see the screen?
Instead of a clunky URL, I can create.
Is the screen showing? Yeah, it is.
Yep.
What do you mean one way or the other? Pardon me? What do you mean one way or the other? One way or the other. If we have to take you downtown and fingerprint you, we'll do that. You're being detained for investigative purposes right now. Believe me, I know the law better than you. We're going to ID you, but until we do that, you're not free to go. There you go.
You're not being handcuffed.
I know
right
you're
now.
used to this going one way based on the YouTube education you've gotten, but that's not how we do it, okay? We're going to do this according to our policy and according to law. It's a public area, sir. Okay, that's fine.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. My name is Philip, and I recorded this video back in June of 2015. I conducted a First Amendment audit test to see how well the Austin Police Department knew their own policies. I will break down this video to show my thought process and how I was able to handle this detention. Recording the police can be intimidating. However, by being knowledgeable of my rights and the policy of Austin Police gave me more confidence in my stance. Enough confidence that allowed my lawyer to file a federal lawsuit against the officers in this video. It is perfectly legal to take photographs and video out in public. The city of Austin created a policy to help educate their officers of this very fact. Under Policy 302, Public Recording of Official Acts, the Austin Police Department recognized that members of the general public have the First Amendment right to record video, photograph, and/or audio record APD officers while they are conducting official business or while acting in official capacity of any public space, unless such recordings interfere with police activity. Now that we have a little knowledge of the policy, let's see how APD responds.
Sir, how are you? I'm Officer Tripp. I'm with Austin Police. This is Officer Smith. How's it going? What's going on today?
Can you talk or you just don't want to talk?
I make the collective decision not to talk here. Usually what follows after a nice screening comes the interrogation. Remaining silent does two things here. One, we skip the formalities and dive right into the meat and potatoes. And two, it forces the APD officers to make a decision.
The reason we out on you is you caused kind of a scare up here, so we're trying to figure out what's going on. So you videotaping for a reason, or what's going on?
You're probably wondering why I don't tell the officers about Policy 302. Well, it's not my job to know their job, and it defeats the purpose of this education. We can chalk this up as an expensive training opportunity.
Yeah, and again, after this, he ends up suing them. I believe he got a couple dollars and had them, one of these guys fired, put on a bench or something.
Damn.
So this is all just for the false arrest and them and trying to intimidate him and violating his rights.
A lot of people don't know when the police snatch you up, that's actually kidnapping.
Yeah, and that's why, I mean, you know, it depends on, you know, then that's when we get into legalese and all of that. But yeah, learning this, like if you're in a public space, unless they suspect you of a crime, you don't have to identify yourself. They have to be able to reasonably articulate a crime you just committed or are about to commit or in the commission of, for them to be able to identify you or search you. Some states have stop and frisk that is slightly different, but the stop and frisk isn't for them to be able to go in your pockets. That's still a search. They're allowed to pass you down to make sure you don't have weapons while they talk to you, but they still have to have a reason for detaining you in the first place, or even that's all a violation. But you know, this isn't legal advice. Look this up and exercise it as you see fit. You know, so I'm gonna let this go ahead and play.
You don't want to talk to us at all, or you just want to videotape?
Yeah, videotaping is all I want to do. In fact, APD Policy 302, Section C states, as long as the photographing or recording takes place in a setting in which an individual has a legal right to be present and does not interfere with an officer's safety or lawful duties, officers shall not inform or instruct people that photographing or recording of police officers, police activity is not allowed, requires a permit, or requires the officer's consent.
Videotaping us is fine. We're just trying to figure out what's going on. We don't have this happen every day, so.
Okay, let's go ahead and ID this gentleman.
Do you have an ID on you at all? Sir, listen. We're trying to cooperate with you, okay? But you got to cooperate with us. You can videotape all you want, but you're being suspicious right now. We're trying to figure out what's going on. So if you have an ID with you, that'd be fine. We'd love for you to give it to us so we can find out what's going on.
Hey, sir, am I doing anything illegal?
Poor Officer Smith. He just wouldn't give in. He actually kept up this one-sided conversation. Once I broke my silence, things went downhill. I gave these officers a shovel and watched them dig their own hole.
Yes, based on what am I doing that's illegal? But based on your suspicious activity, we're going to go ahead and ID you. If you have no warrants or anything like that, we're going to go ahead and wish you a good day, and we're going to be on our way.
Am I under arrest?
No, you're not under arrest, but you are being detained. There's no two ways about it.
Officer Shirley stated my activity was suspicious. Under Policy 302, officers are reminded that photograph, including videotaping of places, buildings, structures, and events are common and normal lawful activities. If a person is taking photographs or recording from a place where he or she has a right to be, officers are reminded that this activity by itself does not constitute suspicious conduct. It was also clear that I was detained and that I was required to give ID. Both of these violate 2 and 4 of Policy 302, and that hole is looking a little deeper now.
All right, well, if I'm being detained, y'all can go ahead and do your investigation, but I'm just going to stay here and
That's fine.
exercise my Fifth Amendment right. Just stay here, and if I'm not doing anything wrong, then there's a reason for y'all to be
We're
here.
going to go ahead and ID you one way or the other. It's up to you.
What do you mean one way or the other?
Pardon me?
What do you mean one way or the other?
One way or the other. If we have to take you downtown and fingerprint you, we'll do that. You're being detained for investigative purposes right now. Believe me, I know the law better than you. So you can film all you want. You can set it up however you want. We're going to ID you. But until we do that, you're not free to go.
And we're adding 6 to the list. Officers shall not in any way threaten, intimidate, or otherwise discourage an individual from recording officer enforcement activities. I could have easily told these officers their own policy, but again, that is not my job. Police set up sting and bait operations all the time. It's only fair that we conduct our own tests to make sure these officers stay in line. This will conclude part 1. Be sure to like and follow for part 2.
Are you seeing this?
Okay, I see he got them broke up in segments so he can go ahead and teach the public. Let me go to part 2. He got me on the edge of my seat now like I ain't seen it already. Hey, you muted if you're talking too. Where the hell is part 2 at? There we go.
Welcome back to part 2. If you have not watched part 1, I strongly recommend starting there first. In order for any of this to make sense, we must follow the rules and regulations. Link to part 1 is in the pinned comment and description below. Let's jump into part 2 as we deep dive into this video.
Texas is not a stopping ID state, is it?
Guys, go ahead and frisk this gentleman. Make sure that he doesn't have any weapons on him.
I have no weapons, and I do not consent to
Go ahead and
searches.
frisk him, like I said. Make sure he has no weapons on him.
I don't consent to searches.
He can either provide us his information willingly, or we can do it through the ID section downtown.
Under what gives you the authority to do that?
Go ahead and get this done, guys. I'm not going to argue with this guy.
You're violating my Fourth Amendment. You know that, right?
You do what you need to do, and we'll do what we need to do, buddy.
Notice how Officer Shirley doesn't bother answering my questions. The questions I'm asking requires actual knowledge of the law and policies of APD. I intentionally repeat questions to see if the officers will double down or say something stupid, the same technique used by officers when they interrogate suspects. At this point, I'm not sure if these officers seen audit videos on YouTube, but the ringleader of this circus makes it very clear shortly.
Do you have anything on you that we need to know about? Knives, guns, weapons?
I have nothing. I'm just holding my hands up.
Put your hands back behind you. You can put the camera down and film us while we're doing this if you want to.
Am I under arrest? That's what I'm asking.
You're being detained. During the detention, you can be frisked for safety.
If he won't put it down, handcuff him.
Here, I'll put my hands right here. Is that fine?
If he won't do it willingly, handcuff him. Put your hands behind your back for us. There we go.
Hands behind your back.
Put him back here. There we go.
You're not being handcuffed.
I know
right
you're
now.
used to this going one way based on the YouTube education you've gotten, but that's not how we do it, okay? We're going to do this according to our policy and according to law.
It's a public area, sir.
Okay, that's fine.
I asked multiple times if I was being arrested, which is key, and a few officers stated that I was not. Texas Penal Code 3802 makes it clear when an individual has to identify themselves, which we will take a look at shortly. If you're in a position that requires your hands being restrained, or if you're being patted down or searched, try to offer to set the camera down in a prime position to capture the search. I have done this numerous times and it worked out very well.
Cell phone? Yep. You have a wallet on you? An ID at all?
I'm not answering any more questions unless I'm being under arrest.
You're being detained, which means
And I want to pause this real quick and share the section code for Ohio. As I quoted in the video where I showed my police encounter, the code that I quoted for Ohio to the cop that sent him packing on his way was ORC 292129. And ORC stands for Ohio Revised Code, failure to disclose personal information. Let me make this a little bit bigger so everybody at home can see this. So if there's one for pretty much every state. This says no person who is in a public place shall refuse to disclose the person's name, address, or date of birth when requested by a law enforcement officer who reasonably suspects either of the following. So when a cop comes up to you and tries to ID you, he has to reasonably suspect one of these: that you are committing, have committed, or are about to commit a criminal offense. So he has to reasonably suspect, like, hey, I just saw you look in 3 different vehicles' windows. I know you can't drive all 3 of these cars. I have reason to believe you may be trying to break in one. But just walking down the street or standing somewhere, that is not reasonable suspicion of a crime. The next one, the person witnessed any of the following: an offense of violence that would constitute a felony, so they have to see you fighting; a felony offense that causes or results in or creates substantial risk of serious physical harm to person or property. So again, the only true crime is damaged property or injured person. Everything else is a non-criminal offense. But yeah, they have to be able to see one of those. Any attempt or conspiracy to commit or complicity in committing any offense identified in Division A to this section. And it pretty much goes on to say one more thing: whoever violates this section, nothing else. So they have to see you committing a crime or suspect, based on your activity, that you're in the commission of one right now, that they can reason, and they have to be able to reasonably articulate this, not just you look suspicious, not you're not supposed to be out here at this time of night, or what are you doing in this neighborhood, you're not from here. That's not reason to ask you for your ID. And if a cop tries to force you to do it, he's violating your rights. I stand on my rights. The person who showed me this shit showed me that once you know your rights, if you don't stand up for them, you're a supreme coward. And there's just no 2 ways about it. These laws are here to protect us. They're trying to strip them away bit by bit. I think the biggest thing was the fact that we don't even have this knowledge to use this stuff to our defense. So, once I came into this information, this shit saved me a lot of money. A lot of bail money was saved by me using this information, because I never had to deal with them or have a conversation with them. Whereas prior to this, I thought if I encountered them, I was at their whim and I had to deal with whatever they were putting me through. When it's like, why, now it's, why are you talking to me? Am I being detained? If they say I'm not being detained, I turn and walk away immediately. If they say I am, I say, what crime do you suspect me of committing? Oh, well, you look suspicious. Okay, suspicious isn't a crime. ORC 292129, failure to identify, says you have to have reasonable suspicion of a crime I just committed, am about to commit, or am in the commission of. I'm sitting here at the bus stop. So you can miss me with that. Oh, you want to arrest me for it? Good. I'm going to go ahead and get $8,000 for a little civil rights violation off of this. Appreciate you. And then we're going to go do a FOIA request, open records request, get the footage, and make an episode on your goofy ass. Then we're going to get your surety bond number and file a claim on your bond. The surety bond is like insurance for police officers. Anytime they encounter you, and if they violate your rights, it's almost like Geico. You know what I'm saying? The surety bond pays the claim, or whatever the suit says they have to pay. Sometimes you can get them fired, but you can't get them permanently removed from the force, or from being a police officer, I should say. They may get fired from a department, but it's always still, I'm not going to say it's always still a possibility. Somebody else is going to hire them. There's a shortage of police out here. These guys really are cowards with badges. The number 1 gang in America. Protect and serve. I guess it depends on who you are and where you are. I've had more negative encounters with police than positive. But let's get back to this video. My apologies. I forgot we was over here watching Bati say.
He has an ID. We have every right to. We have every right to look at it. It's not an issue, guys.
Yeah. You want to back up? Yeah.
Set it right here so it doesn't interfere with your camera, okay? You're filming this, and so are we. So we have two separate angles. You're good to go.
Relax.
Am I good?
You don't have an ID on you, so what's your... Let me get pen and paper here. You from Austin originally?
I'm not answering any questions.
ID is like crack to an ignorant, uneducated officer. They just have to have it. They need their fix. If they don't get their way, it's highly possible they become more aggressive in their approach and resort to show me your papers, Nazi-like behavior. These officers were supposed to frisk me, which is considered a pat-down, but Officer Smith decides to go into my pockets to retrieve my ID, which is a violation of my Fourth Amendment right. There was no probable cause for the search, and consent was not given, nor was I arrested. Unfortunately for them, I don't carry ID on audits.
When you're stopped by reasonable suspicion by peace officers in the state of Texas,
sit here?
No, you can stand there for a second until we're finished. When you're stopped by police officers in the state of Texas for reasonable suspicion, you're required to give minimal identifying information, that being your name and your date of birth. So we'll start there.
What pinnacle is that?
I'm not going to argue with you.
I'm just asking.
If he doesn't want to do it, go ahead and put him in handcuffs, and we can do it until we... We find him on the system, that's the way it goes. Suspicious people, suspicious places, suspicious circumstances. The Code of Criminal Procedure gives us that authority. I've been doing this a lot longer than you've been doing that. So we can go one way or the other. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to get in a debate with you. I know that this makes great fodder on YouTube. I know that it's wonderful to post your videos, and it seems like, oh my God, the sky's crashing down, Big Brother and all that.
If you're still typing your coding prompts, you're leaving performance on the table. The prompt and cursor
Jobs. We're going to do that with or without your cooperation. So how we proceed from here is 100% up to you. How do you want to do it?
Here comes the demand and attempt to instill fear in me for not obeying their authority. I knew Officer Shirley was either lying or just completely drunk and ignorant from his 10 badge and gun. Texas Penal Code 3802 makes it clear when you have to give identification in Texas. A person commits an offense if he intentionally refuses to give his name, residence address, or date of birth to a peace officer who has lawfully arrested the person and requested the information. A person commits an offense if he intentionally gives a false or fictitious name, residence address, or date of birth to a peace officer who has lawfully arrested the person, lawfully detained a person, or requested the information from a person that the peace officer has good cause to believe is a witness to a criminal offense. Not many people are willing to challenge officers or may not know their rights. This is why it's important to understand and heavily educate yourself on the laws of your state. Keep in mind this will vary depending on the situation if you're trying to avoid being arrested. Traffic and pedestrian violations are different. When receiving a citation, it's best to give identification. For example, if you're pulled over for a traffic violation, the driver must ID. The passengers don't have to ID unless they aren't wearing seatbelts or committing another violation. I decided to make a stand here because I knew for a fact this detention would not hold up in court.
Am I doing anything wrong? It's just a question. It's just a question. Set that down? Yeah.
I know this isn't going
now
the way
you're
you thought
violating
it
my
was
First
gonna
Amendment
go.
right.
I know it's not the way you thought it was going to go.
This is not how it's supposed to go. Okay, don't fight
You can either put the camera down or we'll take it from you. Now, you want me to make sure it's filming? I'll fix the screen so you can see. Does that work for you? I noticed you didn't want to talk or answer questions unless it was asking questions of us. I found that to be especially interesting.
You're arresting me, right?
No, you're not under arrest. You're being detained. Investigatively detained. If you'd like, I can explain the difference to you.
Texas is not a stop in that D state.
Okay, thanks for telling me the law. Now let me tell you what's going to happen. We're going to detain you until we have been able to properly identify you. Okay. If we're able to properly identify you and there's no warrants or any other reason to hold you, we'll cut you loose, as is our prerogative. as is held by the state of Texas law, the United States Constitution, and, by the way, Austin Police Department policy and procedures. Now, how we proceed, again, I'm going to put it to you. It's up to you. You can either willingly give us your name and date of birth, or you can continue to take this stand that you're taking, which will do you no good other than delaying your freedom to go. So tell me again, do you want to give us your name and date of birth, or do you want us to detain you further until we can specifically identify you and make sure that there is nothing more to this than what meets the eye?
Am I under arrest?
You are being detained. I've said it again. If you want me to get closer to the camera so I could say it into the speaker, I'll do that. However, I think it's been made clear to you that you're being detained.
I think I was muted. Can you hear me now? I don't know if you can hear me now, but I was saying that it's crazy that they just pull up on us and make up a whole bunch of lies, because they got the guns and they deep, and we done seen them F over our family members before. We just be believing the ish they saying. But with knowledge comes power. Like, that's why he's so poised and calm in this situation. Because he already knows that even if they do violate his rights, he about to get paid. That's why he went out there. They don't know that the joke's on them today. They usually go around trying to set people up to see if they violating the laws. And he's there to see if the cops are going to stick to their policy, which they aren't. And when this happens, you get paid. So we're going to do some episodes on that as well. I'm going to go ahead and let this finish though. Batishe, he's a beast at this.
For investigative purposes, you will not be released until we can positively identify you.
Check and mate. This is why I asked some questions multiple times and let officers cops-plain. It's almost like getting a confession in an unofficial deposition. You give them a shovel and let them dig themselves a hole. However, I do think there are some good officers out there who are educated and smart enough to realize that there was no reasonable suspicion of a crime and a detention was not warranted. However, an investigative detention is a bit different. This usually happens when an officer has a reasonable suspicion that a crime is about to be committed or has already been committed. Knowing for a fact that I was well within APD policy and Texas law, the likelihood of them finding a real crime is 0%. Knowing this, I wanted to see just how far they will go with their unlawful actions.
Does that sound like it's clear now? Whether you agree with it or not, are you understanding what I'm saying to you?
You should be familiar with Penal Code 3802. You should be familiar with that.
I appreciate you telling me what I should and should not do.
Okay.
But here's what we're going to do. Have him sit in the back of the car, and let's go ahead and figure out who he is. Once we do that, we'll go from there.
Step over here.
Here, take his camera. Make sure he keeps that with him.
Can I hold on to it or no?
No, we're going to go ahead and hold on to it. It's still filming.
This car is
filming. You'll be filmed in the car as well.
You want me to film it?
No, we're going to keep you. We're going to put you in air-conditioned company. No, actually, you're actually dictating how we treat you at this point. If you would like to leave, just tell us your name, date of birth. We'll make sure that you don't have any wants or warrants. We'll make sure that there's no other suspicious activity we need to investigate, and you'll be free to go. If you want to play this out and make a statement, you can go ahead and do that. It's just going to delay you being able to leave freely. All right, there we go.
You take me down?
Okay, two things here. One, I wasn't expecting them to double down on their bluff, or maybe it wasn't a bluff, and these guys are actually serious. They actually think they can detain and ID me based on suspicious activity alone. We already know that APD policy has outlined that this activity is not suspicious, and I tried to give them a hint about 3802 and they didn't listen, and our hole just turned into a crater. Oh well, since I'm in a car already, might as well see how far this goes. And 2, I can't believe they're using my camera to record this for me. I guess there are some elements to recording in public these officers won't violate. This concludes part 2. Be sure to like and share, as the third and final part will be uploaded shortly.
This new feature just dropped in.
Welcome back to part 3. If you have not watched part 1 or 2, I strongly recommend starting there first. In order for any of this to make sense, we must follow the rules of regulation. Link to part 1 and 2 will be in the pinned comment and description below. The open records requests have been dragging on, so I decided to release part 3.
Figure out who he is. Did he have anything in his pockets that we can kind of identify anything on?
And you see why they stopped him. Like, he don't look like no Texas law student to them. He just looked like your average everyday Arizona tea sipping black man. You feel me? And so they like, oh, we got us one. We know he got some worms. He look like he out here trapping. He don't look like he got no bread, no spread. And he on feet. Like, what are you doing? But they gonna find out today.
Figure out who he is. At this point, there are several things going through my mind. Are these officers seriously doubling down on stupidity with little regard on how the law works? How far do I really want to play this out? Should I just tell them their policy? Nah, screw that. They already dug their hole. No need to give them a way out. They are still recording this entire incident for me. Let me see if they will say something else stupid.
Have you ever had an ID issue too? Can I answer any questions, sir?
So how are you expecting this to play out? Tell me that.
I mean, until y'all arrest me for once y'all find a crime to
So in
arrest
other
me
words,
for,
you're just trying to get us to arrest you for no reason. That's pretty much it, right?
that's pretty much what I'm in right now.
No, you're being detained. There's a difference between being detained and being under arrest. A detention usually yields an investigation.
Well, y'all can investigate. I'm just
And
using my Fifth Amendment right to be quiet.
But you're not helping us out with this at all.
I have the right to use my Fifth Amendment right now.
How am I expecting this to play out, you say? Well, to find uneducated officers and give them an education they won't forget. These officers are trying to intimidate and pressure me into giving up my rights. What sensible person would volunteer to help the police when they are the subject of an investigation? Why would I help them arrest me by talking? The police are responsible for locating and gathering evidence, and my Fifth Amendment right is controlling the detention, contrary to what the camera shows. I have absolutely no duty to assist them in their investigation. I have done and completed my homework. I will not assist them in doing theirs. You will see me talk and then exercise my Fifth Amendment in various parts of the detention. I do this for 2 reasons. 1, to establish dominance during the detention, especially when there is no probable cause or reasonable suspicion. Some officers say some of the dumbest things, and I could subconsciously overreact or say something on pure instinct that would tip my hand. This is an undercover sting operation to see how well they know their own policy, and so far, it's not looking good.
Y'all didn't state any crime that I broke, but I'm in handcuffs.
But you do understand the detention. What do you understand is the detention?
You guys are just holding me, but you got me in handcuffs.
So
I was perfectly fine right there.
If you know everything that you're supposed to know about the law, give me the law on detention.
You can hold me for whatever purpose, but you have to suspect me of committing a crime.
No.
No?
No.
What's your name and badge number?
My name is Officer Smith. My badge number is 6981. The suspicion.
What's your badge number and name, sir? 6173. What's your name? I can't hear you, sir. I'm sorry? I can't hear you. What's your name, sir? Badge number? It's your trip.
And it's going to be on the report. So if you need to get a report number too, you can get all our names and numbers on the report number.
Didn't do anything
wrong.
wrong.
We're not trying to do anything to you that you're not trying to do to us.
Didn't do anything wrong.
Sir, listen. If somebody's walking around your house, even in your house, and you think they're suspicious because they're doing something suspicious, wouldn't that raise an eyebrow for you?
If they're on public property, it would.
No, don't even go there.
It is.
Was
I not on public property?
If somebody stared at your house.
Was I not on public property? It doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Here we go again with this lame analogy comparing apples to oranges. You cannot compare public and private property. Those are 2 completely different fruits. This should be a red flag if an officer cannot distinguish between the two. As soon as I found a conflicting argument in his analogy, he told me not to go there. I guess that didn't work out the way he intended. I find it deeply concerning that they believe they can detain people without reasonable suspicion of a crime. There are other ways you can be detained, such as probable cause, but that doesn't apply in this situation.
If somebody's staring at your house, you're going to call a PD to come and check on and see what that person's doing. No. The person sitting in front of your house staring through your window. Am I right?
No,
you're not.
I'll be armed, but in that case, if I were to call the police, you guys will probably be too late.
Really?
Yes.
Possibly. You probably walk off. But what if we weren't late? Suspicious person, suspicious activities. Tell me about that law.
You can sit there and ask me questions all you want to.
You're telling me you know the law from here and there. I'm just trying to figure out if you know exactly what's going on.
Well, I'm just going to sit here until y'all finish what y'all doing.
Okay.
I know exactly what's going on. I know that you need probable cause or reasonable suspicion to operate on, and you don't have that. What I didn't know exactly at the time was the specifics of said law. Under Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 14.03, Authority of a Peace Officer, a person found in suspicious places and circumstances which show that such persons have been guilty of some felony. This is probably why they wanted my ID so badly. However, this section also states that a peace officer needs to have probable cause of an offense. Regardless, this will not apply to my detention. Part 6 in this section is pretty interesting. A person who makes a statement to the peace officer that will be admissible against a person under Article 38.21. This pertains to a statement being used as evidence. When being detained, if you so choose to speak, you should always choose your words wisely, and there is a specific reason for that. Why do you think Miranda rights are typically read after you've been arrested? You know that old saying, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. Officers don't tell you this in the beginning because they are hoping that you will sing like a canary. Once they gather the necessary evidence or confession for charges, they don't need you to talk anymore. In most cases, it's recommended that you don't talk to police, period. If these officers can't get what they want, let's see how far they're willing to go to intimidate and pressure me.
You can go quick and easy right now if you just give a name and date of birth.
I got all the time in the world.
If not, we're going down to our main station, get your fingerprint and figure out who you are. Because it's suspicious activity.
That's a violation of the Fourth Amendment.
Suspicious activity? Are you telling me?
That does not override the Fourth Amendment.
Are you sure about that?
I'm positive.
How are you positive?
Positive.
Well, let me tell you this. I don't know you from anybody else that I'm standing around here with in this parking lot. And with the suspicious activity that you were doing, I don't know if you're trying to do something to the building, or if you have some kind of a mental ailment that we need to address or get addressed, or some kind of medical issue that needs to be addressed. So in order to figure that out, if you're not cooperating with us, we have to do our best. And like my sergeant officer said, we have policy on this.
Why would I cooperate with someone who's treating me like a criminal? Even though I didn't do anything wrong. Why would I cooperate with someone who's treating me like a criminal, even though y'all told me I didn't do anything wrong?
You're being suspicious.
What's suspicious of?
You're videotaping an area of people.
So being in the Sonic parking lot is suspicious?
No, you were not in the Sonic parking lot the entire time.
This right here. Oh, okay, on the sidewalk in front of the station. That's completely suspicious.
If anybody calls in and says, hey, this is weird, we have to investigate.
From on the sidewalk?
It's not something that people normally do. That's what makes it suspicious. If a person driving by here says, look, that looks suspicious, that's suspicious activity.
That's all right. Y'all just figure out what y'all have to do. I'll sit here and wait.
That's fine. You want to go down and just do the fingerprint?
Sir, is there anything that we can say or do to have you assist us with our investigation?
I mean, if y'all fingerprint me, I'm suing you guys. There's no reason for this.
No.
Y'all didn't even tell me what crime I committed.
Is there anything that we can say or do to have you assist us with our investigation?
Could you imagine a world where police are called for every little thing that is weird, strange, or if someone didn't like you barbecuing or using a swimming pool? Well, that time is now. Officer Smith said, if people think it's suspicious, then it's suspicious activity.
Producers, this plugin helps you work faster and create sounds that
Hearing.
Yeah, Texas law student Batty Shea, the ultimate cop baiter.
Hey, you mind loosening these up? These are kind of hurting my wrists right now.
They're on as my policy.
I understand that, but can you loosen them up? They're like really hurting my wrists.
They're on as my policy.
Can you loosen them up?
Lean forward.
I got the seats reclining. I got a seatbelt holding me back, so I can't really lean forward.
Push yourself up.
But that's not helping.
Yes, those things are owned by policy. I put my finger up just like I'm supposed to.
I understand that, but I'm asking you, can you loosen them? They're really tight. Ow.
I don't know your intentions. You haven't told me any of your intentions. You don't want to talk to us, so I don't know what your intentions are. So I'm not about to put myself in a safety situation by allowing you to get loose in handcuffs.
Well, you got a gun, taser, pepper spray.
I don't use my gun. I've
Well,
been doing this for way too long.
Well, can you get another officer to do it? Because these are really tight.
They're not tight. I put my fingers in them just like I was supposed to make sure that you had enough room between your wrists. They're just in the position that you have your hands is making it worse.
Well, my back.
I saw some officers talking behind a cruiser, and I wanted to get a good look at them. In doing so, I might have tightened the cuffs when I readjusted my positioning in a seat. At the time, the officers didn't double lock the handcuffs. Double locking allows you to lock the cuffs down to prevent the detainee from closing the cuffs too tight on the wrists. I'll be sure to keep this in mind for the next time.
Just hanging out, take care of some business.
Hey, ask him what crime he's charged me with.
Some employees from Sonic gathered to inquire about the situation. At this point, more officers were gathered at the back corner of the cruiser talking about the detention. Why do I hear boss music? I guess it's finally come down to their final play.
You got anything? Okay, sir. All right. I just want to ask you one more time. Your name and your date of birth. Will you please give us that?
No, they saying please.
We're gonna document this entire stop in a report. It's also documented on our digital mobile audio video. I'm quite aware that you have it documented on your personal camera. We're going to write a report. We're happy to give you the case number. If you'd like to buy a copy of the report, it'll be available to you at any police facility or online for that matter. We're then going to release you from the scene. You're not going to cooperate with us. We're going to have to put you down on our report as unknown or John Doe, whatever you choose, whatever you prefer. And from there, you'll be cut loose. I would caution you, when you find yourself in a position where you're filming a government installation like a police station, you're filming people's plates, you're filming cars, put yourself in a position where if somebody makes a complaint against you for doing that, it becomes a different situation. It can become a criminal offense if they feel like you're stealing any kind of identifying information.
Blah, blah, blah. This officer's trying to save face, blah, blah, blah. Why do officers feel the need to lecture you every time during an encounter? Do they really need to feel a sense of control or authority even when they know that they're wrong? Everything he is saying is incorrect. There's no expectation of privacy in public. The pain from the handcuffs doesn't compare to the grief that my ears are experiencing.
Us, you can take pictures of our police cars all day long and document on video and everything else, police, license plates and everything else, because those are a matter of public record. Now,
You're absolutely 100% correct. You're not in violation of failure to ID laws. That was never the point. The point is the police have a reasonable right to stop you based on the Code of Criminal Procedure when we find you to be a suspicious person in a suspicious place under suspicious circumstances. In this case, we have two of those.
Man, let my homie go, man.
Our installation and plates in the cars and the people coming in and out of the building, and that was a suspicious circumstance.
We ain't trying to hear
That's why
that.
you were stopped. That's why you were ID'd. We could not ID you, placed you in handcuffs for officer safety, placed you in the car. We can never come to an agreement on getting your ID. So at this point, there's not much we can really do. We're going to have to part ways and go on with our lives.
Part ways.
Again, you're more than welcome to any kind of
You hear that? I knew.
You can discuss this with.
After they just threaten them, said it's going to go one way or the other, whether you like it or not, we about to get that ID. All this threatening came to this. Yeah, we're just gonna part ways, brother. You have a good day. And you know, knowledge is power, man. This is why, you know, I'm so happy I came into this knowledge. A lot of money was saved. Because when they steal money from you, they steal the money from your kids. You feel me?
With anybody else you would like to, if you want to complain for anything, that's certainly available to you. And there's plenty of documentation, so the record will stand as it is. Do you have any questions for me? No question. Free? You will be free in just 1 minute after we take the handcuffs off. Fair enough? All right, very good. Thank you.
Poor Officer Shirley trying to make excuses for his unlawful actions. The lawsuit resulted in these officers paying $5,500 that helped fund the Turnervy driver case. I was only in college.
So, yeah, he got 5 bands for this little 45-minute encounter where he was falsely arrested without probable cause of any crime that he had committed or was about to commit. Then they end up turning him loose. So, you know, they violated his civil rights, 5th Amendment, 4th Amendment. They didn't violate his 1st Amendment, though. They let him keep filming. So, but I'm going to go ahead and let it play.
During and after the ruling of many of my cases.
Go back.
Excuses for his unlawful actions. The lawsuit resulted in these officers paying $5,500 that helped fund the Turnervy driver case. I was only in college during and after the ruling of many of my cases, including the appeal for Turnervy driver. Filing appeals were not cheap, but these lawsuits made it possible. One expensive lesson that will stand forever. I ended up.
So yeah, he goes around and he was doing First Amendment audits to literally fund the appeals and stuff that he was having on another case, and he got a bunch of laws in Texas overturned. His name is Turner. I forgot how you pronounce his first name. I think it's Batiste. I don't know if that's a nickname or his real first name, but you could look up Turner v. Driver and Turner versus Texas. And those are some of his cases. So yeah, he's making headway, doing what he's doing. And people that tell us that, you know, you're crazy. Why are you doing this? People are making a difference. You have to push the limits. You can't always toe the line, or else things will always be the same. You know, where would we be without people pushing for what's right, and to have knowledge of the law and not, you know, stand up for it? Kind of makes you a supreme coward. You're just letting these people run over you for what?
Filing a complaint sometime later after this incident, and the findings were equally disturbing as his video. Officer James Bojima with the Austin Police Internal Affairs investigated my complaint and found no wrongdoing. In fact, in his findings, he stated if Mr. Turner just identified himself, then the situation would have ended. I have called numerous times and left voicemails, and Internal Affairs would not call me back. I guess this is what it means to protect their own. I conducted a follow-up audit and they placed this green covering around the exterior of the fence. So I just used my drone to solve that issue. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed and learned something valuable from all 3 parts. If you would like to see more videos like this, I'll be looking in the comment section for requests.
We have got to the point where literally anybody.
Yeah, buddy, wow, he flying drones over the damn police station, man. That's funny. Yeah, you can check him out. Let me show you where you can find him at, man. His page is right here, Batiste. I think that's how you say it. If y'all can see how that's spelled right there, make sure you go check him out, subscribe, let him know A1 sent you, Texas law student. Well, I don't think he's a student anymore. He graduated, but yeah, he did this is what he does. You know, the First Amendment audits, showing you how to do the open records request, how to file your complaints with the district court to sue these cops, whether you're doing it yourself. He also has a civil attorney who's a beast. Yeah, get you one if you don't have one. Yeah, I'm looking for the video I wanted to find of him. I couldn't find. You know what? Since we're here, let me play one more. One of my other favorites. It's an old one, but it's still a classic. Ooh, is that the video I was looking for? Nah. Sheesh, it's back a couple years. You still there? I knew if you talking, you muted.
So we're gonna go in here and ask why we're not allowed to film.
The nuts on this guy. The gall.
Good.
That's funny.
Good. What is the process to file a complaint against a police officer?
If you want to go to the police department, they can help you out there. They should have the forms for you there.
Honestly?
Yes. No, right there at the window.
Okay. Thank you.
He on some type of live. He's streaming. I seen.
Can we help you with anything?
Yes. What is the process to file a complaint against a police officer?
Well, we'll give you a complaint form, but right now we can't have you videotape inside the area here. This is the controlled access area.
Controlled access.
Looking like The Rock.
Let me get you a form. But if you want to step outside, you can come outside.
Oh, I can wait here in the lobby.
No, you can wait outside.
Not with the camera.
This is where we do official business.
So,
but
This is
I
where we
can
conduct
record here, right?
You understand that we're
Yeah,
asking you to
of course,
stop recording.
Okay.
I understand.
And if you keep on doing so, we're gonna ask you to leave. And if you don't leave, you'll be arrested. You understand that?
Arrested for
criminal trespass.
Criminal trespass.
Yeah, if we ask you to leave and you refuse to do so.
But I'm asking for a complaint form, so I'm
I
here.
got one right here.
I'm here
I understand
for
that.
official business. Okay.
Okay. So there's your form.
You got your form?
Okay. Now, is there a lieutenant or anyone that I can speak with right now?
You're gonna fill one out and bring it back.
Right, but that's not what I asked for. I asked
Okay,
if there
you're
was a
gonna fill one out?
lieutenant.
They're not here right
Okay,
now.
you're gonna have to stop
You're gonna fill
recording.
one out.
Okay.
We're
Sir,
asking
listen,
you
to
to
me.
leave.
Listen to me. You're gonna stop recording and step outside. Okay.
I'm asking to speak to a
Okay.
lieutenant.
Are you gonna
right
stop
now.
or not?
I'm asking to speak to a lieutenant. That's all I'm asking.
Sir, we're asking
Okay.
you to leave. Go ahead and leave.
I need to speak to a lieutenant.
Okay. Turn off your camera and we'll have one come to you.
Come on here and talk to me. I'm the chief.
You're the chief?
Come on.
You see, he was just cruising by. He heard that little fiasco they had going on. Let him outside.
All right, right here's good.
No, come on here.
Why are you grabbing me? No, I'm fine. Don't grab me.
Okay.
So
Nobody's grabbing you.
he grabbed me.
He touched you.
He grabbed me.
Okay.
First of all, why is there no filming allowed inside
This
this
is a
lobby
municipal
area?
court area. It's court areas.
Mhm.
And the judges have requested there be no filming in the court areas.
Mhm.
That's why. And the judges have that right to do that. It's been talked to with the Attorney General's office, and we've got it approved through the District Attorney's office. It's a court area. It's just like municipal court is downtown.
So you're not allowed to film inside those doors?
No, sir.
Are you familiar with Turner vs. Driver?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And there's exceptions to that. And when court offices are an exception, it's in the penal code as well. And we will continue to enforce that.
There's no court in there.
That's the court offices right there when you walk through that door. Okay. So there's no need to argue about it. We're not going to discuss it any further. If you want to make your complaint, by all means, fill it out. We'll take your complaint. Okay.
All right. I'll make my complaint.
All right.
Okay, but you can't.
You're right there.
I don't see a pen.
Oh, you need a pen? We don't, right. Give me a pen.
Here you go.
Is that their DEI hires right there? The Rock and the Ellen? Let me.
Do you have your driver's license or ID?
You're not getting that.
Okay, so you don't want to make contact. I'm making contact with you, so you don't want to give me any identification on who you are.
Is this a detainment?
Oh, you're not being detained, but if you want that, we need your correct information on it.
Oh, my correct information will be on it.
You try to turn it into a traffic stop. Fall back.
534.
Gilbert Godfrey.
And you said the Attorney General already approved this?
We've talked to the Attorney General and the District Attorney's Office.
The District Attorney's Office?
And the judge.
Where's your District Attorney office at? Or where's your City Attorney?
Our City Attorney is not in today, but she works in here.
She works in here? What's her name?
Denise Frederick.
Denise Frederick. Would you happen to have a business card or anything for her? Or phone number?
684-1391.
I don't like how he's standing all sassy over there in the middle, man.
684.
He's standing like that, man. Like
I'm not gonna keep repeating it, but I'm playing okay.
I'm not. I'm actually writing it down.
We're not gonna do that.
Hang around.
Just play back.
You got your video.
Shorty over there on the left, she's standing how he's supposed to be standing.
That's recording the whole time?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, he like, damn, you writing me up too? Yeah, you touched him. Why you put your hands on him? You look concerned.
You don't have to get this sworn to or anything, do you?
You just gotta sign it.
I'm just saying. Every police department has their own little policy about that, so just checking to see what yours were.
Yeah, there's no statewide or nationwide policy on that.
On a complaint form?
This game, you're not ready.
Some people don't want to take them, but we accept them gladly.
Well, there's actually a Texas state code for this, but
the complaint forms?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
614-022. Yeah. Be sure to check.
Does it say in what manner the complaint has to be taken?
Written and signed.
There you go.
But I'm just saying, every police department has their own policy, so that's why I was asking what yours were. Okay. And you're sure that I cannot film?
We've already had this conversation.
I'm just confirming.
Well, if you didn't hear me the first time, I'm sorry. Go back your video. More than welcome to do that.
All right.
We've already had this conversation.
I'm just making sure because I'm making this a detailed complaint for you guys.
Make it as detailed
So
as possible.
we cannot film in this lobby because it was approved by your district attorney and the attorney general. Is that correct? Because I'll go ahead and I'll write this down.
Go ahead and write it
Okay.
down. Go ahead and write it
And I'll follow this up with the attorney general. Well, first I'll do your city attorney first,
Go ahead and write
and
it
then the
down.
attorney general.
Go ahead and write it down. You said you're gonna write it down. You got your answer twice, 3 times probably.
No, I'm just going to see if you're going to retract your statement. And by the way, I wanted to give you this. Would you like to take it? Because I'm actually the Turner in Turner vs. Strider, by the way.
Okay, cool. I appreciate that.
And I did have a brief conversation with my lawyer about this.
Cool.
So he will be informed of this encounter.
Outstanding.
There's one line in here
Is
that's
the
a
mayor
classic
also in
for
this
me.
building, or does he have a separate building?
I'm gonna let y'all know when it pop
In this
up.
building? Is he in today? You know that for a fact?
When he does
Because
finally
you're
tell
telling me no
who
for
he
everything.
is.
So I'm just
Because everything you're asking is a no. You just like repeating yourself for nothing.
what's with the smug attitude? I'm just asking a simple question.
And I answered your simple question.
I'm just asking a simple question.
And I answered your simple question.
Will it be on Monday?
I don't know.
You don't know? Do you happen to have his phone number? And if you can you
684-1391.
can you what's number?
684-1391.
1391.
He clicking that pen a lot. He
And what's
is
the
a little
mayor's name?
nervous.
His name is Riley.
Riley. What's his first or last name?
It's the last name.
What's his first? You want to give to me?
Smell what the rock is cooking here. Officer Doofy face.
Oh, also, is it possible that I can get an open records form?
Alert.
Because I will be requesting.
The open records form can be filled out on any piece of paper. We don't have a specific form. There is one online.
Big forearms, little body have
on toilet paper and bring it in.
I get roasted one of these cops.
All right. You mind if I get a piece of paper?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I'll get you a piece of paper.
Okay. Here you go.
Thank you.
And can I get a copy of that signed and dated from the records office?
Right now?
Before I leave?
No, you can't.
I can't?
There's nobody in there. You can't. So you'll get your record. We'll send it to you. Is there a place that you want to send?
You lying.
I would just like a receipt saying that I submitted that.
You've got it on video.
Anytime you submit something,
like
let me pause this.
You're not going to get a receipt saying you submitted it.
Well, can I get a copy of that?
Yeah, he knows that's bullshit. Anytime you turn in anything, you're supposed to get a time, date, stamp receipt from the clerk. If not, you never turned it in. So just remember that.
You cannot.
Why not?
You have it right here for your viewers to see. There we go. Everybody see that? You submitting that? Okay.
Is there a problem with me getting a paper copy?
Yes. You going to pay for it?
How much is it?
It's at least 15 cents.
That's not an issue.
Okay. Give me the 15 cents and I'll go get your paper copy.
First he couldn't do it. Now it's only 15 cents.
I would like my paper copy.
Okay.
Are you refusing to accept my money for a paper copy? Because that's what I'm asking for.
Well, I'm telling you I don't have change. You want to give me the 20, I'll go work on getting change. It might be a few minutes. So.
A few minutes?
I don't know how long.
Yeah, sure.
That's because he lying. He's like, dang, he gonna drag this all the way out? We couldn't scare him by talking loud and getting in the circle around him.
That's what it says on the paper.
I'm asking, is that your name? Is that a yes or no?
I'll be here waiting for my change, sir.
Is that a yes or no? I've got to get your receipt, right? You said your name is Philip Turner, right?
I just want a copy of that being signed and dated that I submitted. That's all I'm asking for.
Your name is Philip Turner, so I can make sure and get you a proper receipt.
Sure.
Your name is Philip Turner, is that right?
Sure.
Is that a yes or a no?
When you have the perfect response in your head, but your fingers just can't keep up. We've all been there. Typing, deleting, retyping.
And the complaint process. Initially, I just wanted to see what the process was. Since he grabbed me,
through
this
the
is what I'm
window,
complaining about.
Okay.
Staring.
Is there like an internal affairs department I can follow up with this on?
Yes, you can.
All right.
You put your contact information on there and they'll give you a call.
All right. What's their phone number for the internal affairs department?
Information on there and they'll give you a call.
But I would like the internal affairs.
684-1391.
Same number?
Same number.
That wasn't hard. Right. And I guess you can make it 30 cents because I also want a copy of that too. So.
Okay. Very good.
There we go. Appreciate it.
I said DEI hires these two.
Are you okay?
The Rock.
You okay, sir?
And
Did you need EMS because he grabbed you?
No, you're okay because your hands are shaking.
why her pants so baggy though? I'm mad her pants so baggy. They let her walk around the station like that.
You need mental health or talking to yourself?
Oh man.
Yeah, I know. They're just trying to get a rise out of me, but they're not going to get that. Oh, and by the way, that was not cool. You know, mental health is a very big issue in the
I
U.S.
know you're talking to yourself.
And you know, it's not cool if you make jokes about mental health at all. Okay, it's not cool. I'm just letting you know it's not cool. Okay,
So I need to find out if you're
it's not cool at all. It's not cool.
I don't know. I don't know if you're talking to yourself.
Look, you can joke about anything about me, but let's not joke. Let's not mess around with mental health. Okay, mental health is a very serious issue.
So, sir, I need to find out if you're stable.
Nah, I don't even think they care how many people are watching. Yeah, this guy's body cam has been running the whole time, so we are requesting that. I just don't see what the issue is as far as recording in the lobby. Yeah, I don't know either.
Well, that was explained to you already.
But you say it's a controlled area, right?
Well, the area that you were recording, that one is controlled. I can't have you recording there. And plus, just like the chief said, this is a court area.
This is a court. But regarding filming, there is no law that prohibits someone from recording in there.
Okay, I'm sorry that you believe that.
If you can show me, I'll gladly say I'm wrong in front of 600 people. I will. I'll apologize to you and say that I'm so sorry and I'm wrong. If you can actually prove to me this, I'm willing to do that.
Okay, I'll see if I can do that paperwork.
Thank you.
Damn, I'm looking at his numbers on that little phone. He do got like 600 people watching. That's crazy.
Actually, I will get on my knees and apologize.
There's no need for that.
If you can find me the law that prohibits me from filming in the lobby,
I'll point you in the right direction.
I'll point you in the right direction.
That's not the
It's
deal,
your
man.
job to
You
inform
gotta
the
show me
people.
on paper, man.
They
That's the
lying
deal.
though, so that's why they doing this. They just trying to intimidate him, and he is a Texas law student.
I mean, the only reason
he came in there to set them up today, and
the attorney general,
they do shit like this, he sues them and gets paid.
attorney or something like that. Yeah, they filed or issued an order or something. So I'm just asking for that. And if you guys have that, I'll gladly pay for a copy of it.
Okay, well, you have to speak to the chief about that, but yes, our district attorney got involved and stuff like that.
Okay. Yep. So you really would arrest me for criminal trespass?
Well, if you were refusing to leave,
but I was
we gave you ample opportunity.
I know, but technically I was on official business, so it's not like I was loitering or anything. You know?
Yeah, but the thing is, you were recording while you're doing it. If you would turn off your camera, you would have stayed in there, would have gave you the form, and just like that.
I get it, man. You're just doing what your supervisor's telling you. I get it, but I'll respectfully disagree with what you're saying.
Respectfully disagree, man.
Get in trouble when you are doing this.
We got to learn how to do that more often.
Don't. Then it's becomes a problem. That's not the way to fight it.
You're right.
Okay, Mr. Turner, there's your receipt. There's your copies. Wait a minute. She missed a copy.
Oh, before you go back in there, I didn't want to make a second trip. Looks like he's gonna make a second trip.
What is it that you need?
I was just gonna either ask for a copy or do an open records for that copy of that order.
From the district attorney?
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask him when he gets it.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't want him to make a second trip, but.
Okay, Mr. Turner, there's your copies. There's your receipt. Here's your money.
All right.
You have a great day.
One second. I didn't want to have you make a second trip. I was wanting to get a copy of that order that you were mentioning, or the ruling.
There's no written copy for it.
There's no written copy, so it's all verbal.
So no written copy for it.
All right, but it should be an open record, right?
There's no written copy for it.
So how do I go about getting a document of this.
If there's no
I just noticed he got a ring on his ring finger. I wonder
But
if
if
he
this is
married
something that
or
you guys
that's
are
just he just
enforcing, there
rocking
has to
on
be
that
some
hand
sort
like
of
that. Probably married.
ruling or a document stating that this is what this is and it's been approved by the Attorney General with the stamp.
It says that word.
No, I'm asking you because you're saying that this was passed down by the Attorney General and the District Attorney.
You just made a statement that there has to be a written ruling for us to enforce it. I don't know of any law that says that we have to have a written ruling to enforce the law. It's already in place.
It's already in place.
Law's already in place.
Can I open records that law? Because I might not know it.
In the Penal Code and the Code of Criminal Procedure, the judge has a right to restrict in municipal court and municipal court areas.
If I'm a citizen and I don't know the law or a ruling, I want to be educated on it, right?
Okay, I've already answered you.
Listen, it's called Connect Team, and it's insane.
damn
I don't do
commercials,
schedules or timesheets.
So you're not going to tell me?
I just told you.
What code? Like, is it 200, 198? I'll do open records request.
Dude is an asshole, man. But yeah, that's Turner from you can look up his cases, Turner versus Driver, Texas versus Turner. He got a couple laws changed for how they deal with the public. You know, it's not Nazi Germany. They just can't stop you and ask you for ID, try to frisk you. The frisk thing, I take that back. There's stop and frisk. They can pat you down while you're being detained to make sure you don't have no weapons, but they can't go in your pockets. Yeah, it gets hectic out here, man. Knowledge is power. Keep these folks up off of you. You know what I'm saying? I knew you still there, man. You fell asleep on the video, man.
Yeah, they did not want to give me that information. Excuse me. Do you mind getting the chief? I don't want to come in here because he's going to arrest me if I start recording. Yeah, no. I was really being serious about getting a copy.
We're not going to continue having this conversation, all right? All right, so
I'm being serious. If I can get a document stating that this is what this is, okay. If a judge ordered it, then there should be a documentation,
okay.
Right? Right?
Okay.
Can I do an open records request for that
Absolutely.
document?
You can open records request whatever you want. Open records request.
Okay. Can I get another piece of paper?
Sure. Here you go.
All right. You got a pen? Because I borrowed the other person's pen.
Go ask the gentleman in the Jeep that you're with.
Who?
These guys need to get back to work. The gentleman you're with in the Jeep. I'm sure he's got a pen for you.
I don't even know them. Can I seriously get a pen to fill this out?
How do you not come prepared? You're auditing, you're doing a job.
Why would I bring a pen to a place that has papers and pens and all kinds of resources that are being paid by tax dollars?
Oh,
why would I do
that? How do you
that?
know this has been paid by tax dollars?
Oh, it hasn't?
How do you know? This could be my personal.
You're shaking there.
I'm not shaking, dude. That was funny. Come on now. Yes, sir.
Can I help you?
Yeah, we got a call about a suspicious vehicle in the area. Do you live here?
It doesn't matter. This is public.
Okay. You got your ID on you?
I'm not getting ID'd. I haven't committed a crime. And I would not like to ID myself because it's my right to not ID myself.
What is the issue here?
I was sent this video and it comes from the channel Lambro Steve. He is not an auditor, but a content creator who enjoys making videos focused around exotic supercars. And he happens to know his rights. Be sure to check out his channel and let him know I sent you. Lambro Steve was in his car doing some work in a quiet neighborhood when a resident called 911 to report a suspicious vehicle that was parked on a public street. A Tulsa County Sheriff deputy approached Lambro Steve and began questioning him. This video is a textbook example on how to handle suspicious vehicle encounters when there's no reasonable suspicion.
Can I help you?
Yeah, we got a call about a suspicious vehicle in the area, and it matches this description.
What's suspicious?
He said you've been parked in front of his. You were parked in front of his house for about an hour and a half.
Yeah. Is that suspicious?
Yeah, it's kind of strange. What's going on?
Nothing. Just sitting in my car.
Okay. Do you live here?
It doesn't matter. This is public.
Okay. You got your ID on you?
I'm not getting ID'd. I haven't committed a crime. Why would you need my ID?
Because this is a private this is a pretty quiet neighborhood.
Okay, is this a public place or a private place?
It is a public road, correct.
Thank you. Have I committed a crime by sitting here?
No.
Okay.
Steve not only kept his responses short, but he also avoided answering irrelevant questions that can extend the encounter. In addition, he had the officer confirm that he was indeed on a public street and there was no reasonable suspicion that a crime was being committed.
Then I would not like to ID myself because it's my right to not ID myself.
What is the issue here?
There is no issue. I'm over here minding my own business, sitting in my car, and you're coming up to me.
Correct. Because I'm getting a call.
It doesn't matter if you get a call. I've done nothing illegal. People can call all they want. Do you call? You run out and talk to everybody that's parked in their car?
When they've been sitting in front of a house for an hour and a half, I generally do.
Okay. Well, I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm trying to be very respectful to you. I've done nothing wrong. I'm not committing any crimes. I'm sitting in my car minding my own business. I think you've sufficiently checked out that there's nothing wrong. Do I look like a criminal?
I don't know. I don't know where you live at.
It doesn't matter where I live. Why does that matter?
You know, the criminals could be. We've got a guy in Tulsa that was driving a 2019.
Do you suspect me of a crime?
I suspect that you're in a neighborhood where you don't belong.
Okay, and so why don't
they don't recognize the vehicle? I'm just trying to figure out what you're doing here.
It's none of your business what I'm doing here. I don't have to tell you what I'm doing.
Okay.
There's nothing illegal about what I'm doing. This is not a private neighborhood. I'm not in a gated area. I didn't pass any no trespassing signs. I'm on a public road minding my own business in my car.
Okay.
So leave me alone.
All right.
Okay. You're dismissed. Thank you.
No, that's not how it works. But okay.
Jeez. Come on. He said that's not how this works.
Steve once again reaffirmed that there was no reasonable suspicion of a crime, and the deputy retreated to his patrol car. It's very common for law enforcement to request or demand ID when it comes to calls for service. Once an officer runs your ID, not only does the officer check for warrants, but your information is tied to those call notes in case something happens in that neighborhood. And I bet you can probably guess who will be suspect number one.
I didn't commit a crime. I don't need to get an ID. This is not a stop and ID state. Nice try. I know my law, sir. No. Get a sergeant out then.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
This is probably the first time I've seen a cop get shut down like this. The auditor, who goes by Monroe County Cop Watch, knew his rights and limitations when it comes to recording public officials. Officers have the authority to enforce and uphold the law, but it does not give them the right to abuse or operate outside that parameter, like trying to intimidate a citizen who was recording them during an investigation. Many news outlets consistently record active crime scenes with little to no resistance. Knowing this, Monroe County Cop Watch wasn't having a comp-splaining nonsense. I do hope he continues his efforts. Be sure to check out his channel and let him know I sent you.
Very interesting.
On or around March 22nd, 2024, the owner of the Kansas City Accountability YouTube channel, who we will refer to as Mr. Moses, was filming outside the Central Bank of Kansas City in Kansas City, Missouri. After approximately 8 minutes, one of the bank employees exited the building to ask Mr. Moses about his conduct.
I'm sorry. Recording. Recording.
Like, what do you is it like a project or?
Yeah, I'm an independent journalist. I'm just gathering content for a story.
I'm just curious, like what's the story about?
I can't tell you.
You can't tell me?
Because it'll compromise my story.
Oh.
It ain't published yet.
Oh.
Once it get published, I can definitely tell you about the story and send you the link.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm not doing anything. I have no ill intent. Yeah, it's all good. Huh? I was recording. You're not supposed to what? I can barely hear you. I'm so sorry. And who told you that? What's your name? Okay.
Following this brief exchange, Mr. Moses remained outside the bank and filmed for approximately 20 minutes before declaring that the bank had passed his audit and leaving the sidewalk. As Mr. Moses approached his vehicle, he was stopped by Officer Bremer and Officer Cordova of the Kansas City Police Department. The incident that followed was captured on both officer body camera and Mr. Moses' cell phone.
Hey, man.
How's it going?
Apparently you guys were Officer Bremer.
Bremer. And what's your name and badge number?
Long story short, it sounds like whatever you were doing at the bank, they don't want you to be over there.
I was on the public sidewalk recording.
Okay, well, they said whatever you were doing, they just don't want you over there.
I was on the public sidewalk. They can't tell me not to be on the.
I don't know, man. That's why I came over here to talk to you.
Go over there?
No, not really.
You can go over there.
And
I didn't. I told them they came outside. Let me calm down. They came outside. The guy, Aaron, he said, "Hey, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm an independent journalist. I'm just gathering content on the story." I was walking all the way up down Truman, and I walked down there to record the train. And then the lady came out. She said, "Hey, you can't record the bank." I said, "Ma'am, I'm on public property." So
yeah, but you could see why that would kind of make them uncomfortable, right? I mean, it's a bank.
You can't even see nothing.
I know, but they don't know that.
Yeah, you can. If you stand outside and you look at the bank, you can't see anything. The windows is tinted.
Okay. Do you have an ID on you?
Do I need an ID?
Yes.
For what? What crime have I committed?
They identified you. You just identified yourself as being over there.
On the sidewalk.
I'm investigating.
Okay. What
whatever
crime?
This is.
What crime?
Possible trespassing?
I was on the sidewalk.
Identify you so we can issue you the warning for trespassing.
I was. How you going to trespass me and I'm on the sidewalk?
Because they're saying you were on the property.
I got camera footage. Now, if they lying to you and I show you that they're lying, are you going to do something to them?
That's between you and them.
That would be a court deal.
Is lying. I'm on the public sidewalk. I came all the way up Truman. I walked down there to get the footage of the train. On my way back, I just looked at the bank and they came running outside.
Okay.
So, yeah, came back over here, walked there, about to go to work.
Okay, so I need your ID.
No, sir.
I do, though.
No, you do not. For what crime?
I just told you they
He said no, sir. No, sir.
You just identified yourself.
And I wish I was still on that sidewalk when you pulled up. I wish I was on the sidewalk.
I would have said the same thing.
So I'm confused, man. So you're gonna refuse to give me your information for a lawful stop?
No, I'm not.
So you're gonna get arrested and hindered?
No, I'm not obligated to give you my.
You are. I just told you.
Because I haven't committed no.
I just told you.
No crime was committed, sir.
Brother, is your tags aren't coming back on file. Okay. For the Kansas registration, do you have the registration paperwork for it? You could hold your phone up and zoom.
No, it's okay. No, I'm trying to
Asking
give
you a legitimate question. Do you have the registration for the vehicle?
Hey, you guys. So this is when, and I had my selfie stick out when I was recording. I was on the public side.
Now you're redirecting against my question of.
I don't have to answer your question.
I asked you if you have the registration information for your vehicle that you drove here on the Missouri roadway that is unregistered right now. Now, it doesn't
Go
come
ahead.
back to our system. We ran it through out of Kansas.
Go ahead.
Now we need to verify to make sure. So that's why I'm asking you if you have the paperwork.
You didn't see me drive the car.
How else did you get here?
It don't matter.
How else did you
It don't matter, sir.
It does.
It does.
Officer Cordova informs Mr. Moses that his vehicle is unregistered according to their records and demands that Mr. Moses provide his registration for the vehicle, despite never having witnessed Mr. Moses actually drive the vehicle. Under Missouri law, officers may require drivers to present certain documents only when those individuals are lawfully stopped for vehicle operation or traffic enforcement. The state's registration statutes, Section 301.020 and Section 301.130, require that a vehicle be registered before it is operated on a public roadway and that evidence of that registration be carried in the vehicle. However, neither statute authorizes an officer to compel production of registration documents absent a lawful traffic stop. Missouri appellate courts have repeatedly treated requests for registration as permissible components of an otherwise lawful traffic stop, but not as an independent enforcement power. Now, while Section 302.181 mandates that a driver's license be exhibited, quote unquote, upon demand, command while driving, and Section 303.024 requires proof of insurance when an officer lawfully stops a driver, the omission of similar language in the registration statutes indicates that no such duty exists outside a valid traffic stop. Furthermore, as mentioned in many previous episodes, the Fourth Amendment protects citizens from unreasonable searches and seizures, and the Kansas City officers would have been required to meet the burden of reasonable suspicion before they could issue any lawful commands to Mr. Moses. We will discuss whether the officers had reasonable suspicion in more detail later in this episode, but it is important to note that there is a strong argument that Mr. Moses was under no legal obligation to present his registration card under these circumstances.
And if you see that came from a dealership.
You're not wanting to give us your information.
No, listen, if I committed a crime, I will give you my ID.
Doing good.
That's what reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime. I was standing on that sidewalk, sir.
Hey man, there is a Ford Taurus out here. It's unregistered. The guy can't drive it because he can't. It's not registered. Which one, sir? It's over here.
Can you show me how to come?
Yeah.
Why would you try to infringe on my rights?
Okay, so let me get this straight. So
look at it, ready to go tell somebody right now.
You're gonna stand outside of a bank in midday, and I heard you.
Okay.
So you're gonna stand outside of a bank in midday, videotaping the bank, and you don't think that's gonna make the employees extremely uncomfortable?
See, where they get uncomfortable.
You're in the inner city.
Listen,
Do you stay in Kansas?
their uncomfortability don't stop my right.
Okay, so that makes most businesses extremely uncomfortable.
And what's up with your buddy, man?
This car right here, it's
sound
not
like
registered. I know.
You sound like he did.
So I'm asking you, can I tow that car out of your lot? Yes? 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 Okay.
We don't know when they bought the car. Just so you don't know.
Okay.
So now that you've identified yourself now as the one being standing out there and videotaping them and making them feel uncomfortable, to issue the verbal warning, which is what we're trying to do so we can send you about your way, you're refusing to give your information.
No, what happened?
So I'm only going to ask you one more time, and then I'm just going to have to cuff you up, man. I don't want to do that. I would like to send you about your way. Yeah, absolutely.
Please.
Officer Bremer tells Mr. Moses that he will place him in handcuffs if he does not surrender his identification to the officers so that they can issue a verbal trespass warning banning Mr. Moses from the bank's property. Under Missouri Revised Statute 569.140, criminal trespass in the first degree requires that an individual knowingly enter or remain unlawfully on a property after being forbidden to do so. And the statute's notice requirement makes clear that a trespass offense does not occur unless a prior warning has been given. A request from a property owner to issue a future trespass warning does not constitute a violation of law and does not authorize officers to compel identification from citizens. As discussed in many previous episodes, the Supreme Court held that compelled identification is permissible only during a lawful investigative detention supported by reasonable suspicion that a crime has been committed in the 2004 case of Heibel versus 6th Judicial District Court of Nevada. In the 2011 case of Missouri versus Waldrop Jr., the Missouri Supreme Court cited the Heibel case to reaffirm that reasonable suspicion is necessary in order to demand a suspect's name, address, and an explanation of their actions. Now, because the officers lacked reasonable suspicion that Mr. Moses had committed trespass or any other criminal offense, they had no lawful basis to detain him. And without a lawful detention, Mr. Moses was under no statutory or constitutional obligation to identify himself. Accordingly, Officer Bremer's threat to place Mr. Moses in handcuffs for refusing to provide identification was unsupported by Missouri trespass law. And also,
so that means that everything that this brother is on the sidewalk saying, even though he sounds crazy, even though he sounds like a comedian, is absolutely right. What he's telling his officers is right. He knows his rights and he's out there exercising them. And shout out to him. Let's see how this plays out for him.
So inconsistent with the constitutional limits that govern compelled identification.
You know what I would have liked to happen when you guys pulled up and they called you guys? Hey, where was he standing at? Was he on you guys' property? You should have. What I would have liked is, sir, when you pulled up and they told you what happened, hey, he was on the sidewalk. He has every right to record on the sidewalk. I wasn't even coming to the bank. I was coming to get the train.
There's officers that monitor the city cameras that saw you verbatim on their property.
That's a lie.
It's in the call notes, brother.
Do you want me to stop this video and show you?
No, I would like to get your information so I could issue the verbal warning and send your bunch away.
I wasn't on their property. That's how trespass works. Trespass, if you're on the property, they tell you to leave. That's how it go. They give you a chance to leave, and then you're trespass.
And they don't know that you have a selfie stick. Why would citizens that are probably unarmed come and approach you?
You say that one more time?
Why? Okay, so first off, you're videotaping, you're standing outside, you're being extremely suspicious. They can't tell that that's a selfie stick. Why would citizens that are on...
It was like this.
How are you going to ask me a question and then not let me finish?
I was like, Aaron came outside and talked to me. We had a good dialogue.
That's not what the lady on the phone said to put in the call about you.
I can show you the video. Y'all want to see the video?
No, I'd like to get your information so I could send you away.
For reasonable, articulable suspicion.
I just did. I gave you all the reasonable suspicion we would need as a law enforcement officer.
See what the supervisor said when you get here. This is
wow.
Well, I don't like your
Get the supervisor if you're lying.
You keep backing away from the car. You're being extremely suspicious.
Why are y'all taking my car?
And you're going to be detained. You're not under arrest. You can keep your little stick thing on there. But you keep backing up towards the road, and I don't like that.
I'm not going anywhere.
And the fact that you're refusing to give us any sort of information, we're just gonna sit you on the curb, brother. And
reaching into your pocket.
Yeah, I don't like all the jazz.
Can I hold that, please?
No.
Okay. Over here at the corner.
Okay, I'll just put it on the hood.
They said we can get the car towed out of here if we needed to.
Come on, what would you?
That's too much, bro.
What am I'm in cuffs. Ain't nothing in my pocket. My portable charger, pat me down. Come on, pat me down. I have nothing on me. I have my portable charger.
Are you giving me consent to search your person?
No, sir, man.
Okay, then have a seat.
Can I stand?
No, you cannot. Have a seat.
Man. It's like you Negroes too fast. 2025. Have a seat, brother.
For our policy, when we sit you down, you need to kick your legs out and cross them.
Oh my God.
So are you going to refuse another lawful order? Is that what I'm gathering?
First of all, you got me detained.
Yes, correct.
I'm on the sidewalk.
At this point, hindering. And I literally just said that I would like to let you go, and you just continue to keep going.
Have it on camera by chance. Our mail that we have detained here on bank property at any point. Hi, Alan. This is Officer Cordova with the police department. Hi, I wanted to we have your mail here at the gas station. He's detained in the handcuffs. I just wanted to get some details regarding what exactly happened there. Okay, so he was on the grass, and that's bank property.
He went like down on the sidewalk here on the side of our building. And was recorded from that area too.
Okay, so the sidewalks are city property, but if he's in the grassed area, on where you're telling me that the grassed area there is property of the central bank.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I do appreciate it, ma'am. Hi, is this Alan?
Yes.
Sorry, it's Officer Cordova again. I just wanted to ask, ma'am, are you willing to sign a complaint for the lawful trespass?
Yeah, I'll sign it.
Okay, and you did tell him that he wasn't allowed on the bank property, correct?
I told him it was a law for him to be recording our bank.
Right.
Yeah, he even asked me what was my name, why he was recorded. When I was telling him because it's law.
Okay. So then I won't issue him a charge for trespassing. I'll issue him a trespass warning. Okay, we'll get him identified. I'll issue him a trespass warning. I'll print out the warning for you and I'll bring it to you. Can I get your name and date of birth? I do appreciate it. Okay.
I thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye.
Okay, sir. So you were on the sidewalk during that point. I'm going to tell you that, but you were also in the grass area.
No, I wasn't. I got it on. We got camera footage.
You were on
No,
the
I was never on the ground, sir. I know the law. This is what I do. I'm an independent journalist, sir.
She talked to you while you were in the grass.
I wasn't in the grass. I'm on the sidewalk.
Which is their property. Which I understand. But I am going to issue you a trespass warning.
I was not on the grass.
It's not a charge. It's just saying that you.
He goes, got to know the law.
That's the captain, but he'll probably tell you the same thing.
Okay. And what's his name?
Captain Clark?
Captain Clark?
Yes, sir.
You want to talk to him? The whole party talked to him on the grass, which is their property.
Dude is a character for real.
Yeah, he was on their property in the grassed area, again, which is their property. I don't know the full conversation because she had it with Jed, but they asked him to leave. He's now refusing to give us his information and says that we're unlawfully detaining him. And wants a supervisor.
How you doing, Captain Clark?
Fine, how are you?
The body camera audio briefly cuts out here, but Mr. Moses explains his version of events to Captain Clark. And unlike the other officers, the captain listens to Mr. Moses and makes a legitimate effort to actually understand the situation.
I walked over here.
Bank call.
Yes.
I walked over here. I got everything on camera, too, sir. I can show you.
All right. Well, I tell you what. They call it so there's cameras everywhere in here. So you were. The easement right there is the sidewalk, but the grassy area actually belongs to the. Okay. Well, here's the thing. So does the bank want to do anything?
They can't trespass me. I was on the sidewalk. I was on the sidewalk. You can't trespass me from public property. Plain view doctrine.
Okay.
Can't trespass my eyes.
What was your first name?
Moses. My name is call me Moses. Sir.
So I don't have to. So you guys okay if I stand him up?
And
this is when you stand upside. Why don't I have to?
And I have
okay.
And I have no ill intent. I have nothing on me. Like
here that way we don't. Have
Why does he sound like that, man? He sound like he's scheming, man. I wouldn't trust dude either, though. That's what he thinks. He sound real whiny, real Keith Sweater.
We could have already sent you home, brother.
He's going to get Captain in a coaching.
Well, he's about to tell him the same thing he told you.
Okay.
We need to get an ID for a trespass warning for the bank. He was on the property in the grass. I talked to the calling party. Her name's Ellen. And she's still there. She works there, but she contacted him in the grass saying, "Hey, you can't record." He said, "Okay, that's fine." And he said,
"You can't tell me I can't record."
He said, "You can't tell me I can't record." And so,
we'll catch you later.
He stepped back onto the sidewalk, and so they want to issue him a trespass warning because it was the one time. And so they would like us to be able to issue him a trespass warning, but we need to get him identified.
So, was he ever warned not to be on the property beforehand?
Not before and at that time.
So we have no violation of law then, correct?
Just a warning.
So he didn't want to ID himself?
No.
I mean, he didn't break the law. He didn't have to ID himself.
Okay.
So it'd be one thing if he went back up on there after he was
Said
warned.
he didn't break the law. So
I mean, you can tell him, sorry, he didn't break the law. He just ID people because they wanted to give trespass warnings.
That for
right.
So.
Dumbass.
I'm broadcasting it. I'm just asking because you're not broadcasting it on. I'm broadcasting it.
On there after he was warned, but
okay.
I mean, you can tell him sorry on there after he was warned, but
just a warning.
So he didn't want to ID himself.
No.
I mean, he didn't break the law. He didn't have to ID himself.
Didn't break the law.
It'd be one thing if he went back up on there after he was warned, but
okay.
I mean, you can tell him sorry, you didn't break the law. We can't just ID people because they wanted to give trespass warnings.
Right.
You can't just ID people.
Broadcasting it. I'm just asking because you're not broadcasting it on.
These cops are right.
Okay.
The two that pulled
yes,
up.
You disagree or yes?
Yeah, that was what the conversation we were about to have when.
Yeah. Unless we have a criminal problem with them.
No, I'm gonna head out there.
Okay.
Look at this. They taking cuffs off me.
Yeah, I told you were detained.
Illegally.
Now you're just being confrontational again, brother.
No, he's about to rub it in. You were being confrontational. You put him in cuffs. What the fuck? They be flipping this shit so crazy.
Registration.
Okay.
So now you're gonna rub me in that I was wrong.
I talked to the property.
Yeah, I'm about to rub that shit in.
It doesn't come back, and he didn't want to provide me the.
He a clown, man.
That's our sergeant.
That's the sergeant. Hey, how you doing, sergeant? What's your name and your badge number, sir?
Star 4, 5382.
Yes, sir. Again, just to give you a little quick rough draft on what just took place here, man.
Quick rough draft.
I'm an independent journalist. Again, I'm just gathering content for a story right before work. It just seemed like you just was like just digging, just wanting to arrest me, man. I have no ill
against you, brother. We're told something.
Here's the deal. They got called. The reason why everyone went by, they're the ones who got called. The other ones did. So
Right.
they were responding to a call. I get it.
Right.
You're right. You're on the sidewalk. You ain't breaking any law. So they claim you're on their property. Obviously, just so you know, you're not allowed on their property. If you're on
Yes,
their property,
sir. Yes, sir. I do this for a living. I'm an independent journalist. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
he's not, man. He just
I
saying
wasn't.
that
No, I was never on the property. Though. You know what I'm saying?
And that's fine.
Everybody with an Instagram account or a YouTube page
It's okay.
is an independent journalist.
Hey, you were there freely.
Yeah.
They warned you, don't go back.
Yeah.
Now you've been warned, don't go back on their property.
I was never on it, but
They were responding to a call. That's all they were doing.
just what kind of, well, I want to say kind of like just bothered me is how you pronounce your name? What's your name and badge number? Cordova. And this is all just a learning experience. You know what I'm saying? I never knew how long you've been on the force. And sometimes you never come into a situation like this. But once I told you what took place, you was still pushing the issue. I said, hey, sir, you said they trying to trespass you. I'm like, I never was on their property. It's the plain view doctrine. Whatever I see in public, I can record. You can't trespass my eyes, man. That's all.
After a brief exchange with Mr. Moses, the officers left the scene without further incident. It is unclear whether Mr. Moses followed up with any complaint or legal action. Overall, Officer Bremer and Officer Cordova get an F for failing to conduct a legitimate investigation before detaining Mr. Moses, displaying fundamental misunderstandings about basic constitutional principles, and for maintaining a hostile and condescending attitude throughout the encounter. The body-worn camera footage shows that Officer Bremer and Officer Cordova initiated the encounter with Mr. Moses based solely on a complaint from bank employees without first confirming whether any criminal conduct had occurred. Instead of determining the precise location from which Mr. Moses had been filming, verifying property boundaries, or reviewing the video evidence that Mr. Moses repeatedly offered, both officers immediately defaulted to investigative detention procedures and simply assumed that a trespass violation had occurred. As mentioned in the episode, Mr. Moses never entered the bank's property, and he was never told that he was not allowed on the bank's property. The only instruction that was given to him was that he was not allowed to, quote-unquote, film the bank. The officer's failure to establish even the threshold factual predicate for trespassing demonstrates a lack of understanding of Missouri's trespass framework and also disregards the statutory requirement of notice as a prerequisite to an actual violation. Furthermore, the officers compounded these errors by demanding Mr. Moses' identification for the purpose of issuing a trespass warning, despite the absence of any tangible criminal violation, and then going on to threaten to arrest him for quote-unquote hindering if he continued to refuse. Not only did the officers clearly lack reasonable suspicion to demand Mr. Moses' ID, but neither Missouri's hindering statute or resisting statute would have applied to Mr. Moses' conduct. The officers' reliance on quote-unquote hindering and other meaningless misinterpretations of state law reflected a fundamental misunderstanding of Missouri's criminal code, and their use of these whimsical assertions in order to justify continued detention lacked any statutory basis. Officer Cordova's conduct also demonstrated extremely questionable discretionary decision-making, as he arbitrarily sought permission from a private business owner to tow Mr. Moses' vehicle, despite having witnessed no criminal activity and without observing the vehicle in operation. This action was a blatant attempt to convert a non-criminal encounter into a punitive interaction, and further illustrated a failure to distinguish between legitimate legal authority and Officer Cordova's ego. This interaction highlights the consequences of conducting an investigation without confirming basic facts. Also, the constitutional risks created when officers rely on authority that they do not possess, and also the importance of ensuring that reasonable suspicion, not assumptions or third-party allegations, guide every stage of a police encounter. Now, Sergeant Porter and Captain Clark get an A+ for demonstrating a strong understanding of both Missouri law and constitutional precedent, immediately correcting the actions of their officers, and for treating Mr. Moses with dignity and respect throughout the encounter.
I would say it's like having another producer
That's
in the room
true.
that knows
I like
exactly
how
what you're saying.
the senior
This is
officer
co-producer.
came over there, stood him up. Like, man, y'all gotta sit on the ground. You know.
and Captain Clark arrived on scene, they were presented with an encounter that had already escalated beyond the boundaries that were permitted under Missouri law and the Fourth Amendment. As mentioned earlier, the initial officers detained Mr. Moses without verifying any of the elements that are necessary to establish reasonable suspicion of trespass or any other offense. Upon their arrival, both supervisors took immediate steps to gather accurate information. They took the time to listen to Mr. Moses's explanation, and they evaluated the situation quickly and accurately. Their willingness to listen to Mr. Moses's account and review the officer's statements allowed them to identify that the detention lacked factual support and that Mr. Moses had remained in a location that the law recognizes as a public right-of-way. This corrective posture demonstrates a strong command of Missouri's trespass statute and the constitutional limitations that are governing police authority as a whole. Sergeant Porter's handling of the identification issue further reflected a clear understanding of the legal framework surrounding reasonable suspicion and Missouri's identification laws, and largely served as the primary catalyst for de-escalating this encounter and avoiding a costly lawsuit. Sergeant Porter and Captain Clark's intervention terminated an unlawful detention, it prevented further escalation, and it ensured that Mr. Moses's rights were respected moving forward. And it also demonstrates how supervisory presence can correct misapplications of law, guide less experienced officers, and prevent routine encounters from evolving into avoidable constitutional violations. This interaction highlights the essential role that informed and decisive supervisory intervention plays in maintaining constitutional policing, correcting field-level mistakes, and safeguarding the rights of citizens during police encounters. I commend Sergeant Porter and Captain Clark for defending Mr. Moses's constitutional rights and for upholding their oath to protect and serve the citizens of their city. Mr. Moses also gets an A+, because although it could be argued that he should have invoked his right to remain silent at some point during the encounter, he demonstrated an excellent understanding of the constitutional principles at play. He remained calm and collected throughout the interaction, and he ultimately left the scene without surrendering his ID. Mr. Moses positioned himself well within the protections of the First Amendment by filming exclusively from public easement areas and avoiding any entry onto private property. And it is clear that he has a strong understanding of the legal nuance that is surrounding filming in public. Mr. Moses also displayed a clear understanding of the constitutional standards governing investigative detentions and compelled identification. While he did choose to engage with the officers rather than remain silent, he articulated his position calmly and consistently, and clearly explained that he was under no obligation to identify himself absent reasonable suspicion of a crime. Mr. Moses reiterated this principle without hostility. He avoided escalating the encounter through confrontational language, and he continued to make sure that he was willing to show the officers exactly where he stood during the filming. His restraint and clarity all ensured that the factual record was consistent and accurate, and that the officers' unsupported assumptions were challenged without provoking additional escalation. Despite being placed in handcuffs, threatened with arrest, and confronted with repeated assertions of authority that lacked legal foundation, Mr. Moses kept his composure and insisted that the officers respect his rights. He answered questions in a manner that provided context without waiving his rights, and he avoided statements that could have been misunderstood as admissions of wrongdoing. While it can always be argued that complete silence is the safest approach during police encounters, Mr. Moses's decision to engage constructively was tailored to dispel suspicion and clarify the circumstances of the incident. His conversational approach, though not advisable for every citizen, remained measured and purposeful, and it ultimately contributed to the supervisor's rapid realization that he had committed no crime. I commend Mr. Moses for demonstrating a thorough understanding of the constitutional principles governing public photography, compelled identification, and the limits of police authority, and also his ability to remain calm and collected at all times. So be sure to give your support to the Kansas City Accountability Channel. You can find a link in the description down below. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic that you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for
Yeah, shout out them. He held it down. He stood his ground. He told them cops, "I'm not giving you my ID. I haven't violated. I haven't committed a crime. You don't have reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime that I just committed, I'm about to commit, or am in the commission of. So beat it." They pressed the issue. He asked for their supervisor. The supervisor heard him out, and yeah, he was free to go from there without surrendering his ID. You know, shout out to him if you just heard that recap. We're going to go ahead and close it out. Any closing words, Anu? There you have it from Anu, the great, wise, silent owl. Give him a round of applause. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here with the song from Connie's son. This one is called Same Heart. You can go ahead and find him on anywhere that you listen to music. I usually check him out on Spotify. Hit up all his social medias as well. Again, that's Connie's son. Tell him A1 sent you. And you guys have a great rest of the night.
Down for whatever, how the hell did we just fall apart? You was my brother, know that I love you. I would've gave you my own heart, and I would've never owned any level. Think about letting that thing spark, knowing that we got the same heart. It's crazy we ain't got the same heart, and they the one taking the aim for it, and I'm the one taking the blame for it. They ain't got no shame in the game for it, till I come back around with that pain for it. You gon' pay it for the time you was hating, you gon' pay it for the time you was dirty macking, you gon' pay it for the time that you hit on women, you pay it for the time that you flipped on family. Karma gon' come your way, young nigga. It can be any day, young nigga. The way that you played your hand, I forgive you, but back in that sandbox, can't forget you. Killing my mentor, tell your little brother the issue. How did we go to them pistols? Know I'm official, know that I try to uplift you. Kinda knowing that I miss him. We was together, down for whatever. How the hell did we just fall apart? You was my brother, know that I love you. I would've gave you my own heart, and I would've never owned any level. Think about letting that thing spark, knowing that we got the same heart. It's crazy we ain't got the same heart, and I'm the one taking the blame for it, and they the one taking the aim for it. They ain't got no shame in the game for it, till I come back around with that pain for it. You gon' pay for the time you was hating, you gon' pay for the time you was dirty macking, you gon' pay for the time that you hit on women, you pay for the time that you flipped on family. One more hate, it really ain't gon' matter. More pale lips, just me, more chatter. Can't hold hands going up no ladder. I fall from up here, then my shit gon' shatter. I'm putting on for my whole family, but we on a different road, family. You told folk that I told family, but I never did fold when the folks had me 100. I never been fake in front. I told younger nigga make him something, you told younger nigga take him something, and he the one that took that from his cousin, and that there got the whole family fussing. Got big sis beefing with her brother, even through it all still know I love you, but every second I think I trust you. I'm dead, I'm smart in the game, you made it hard in the game. I'm loving, I started the lane, I'm hard as they came. Melody target they brain, and they draw like a martyr with flame. How far I done came, you was not part of the blame, you was just part of the strain. You was so grimy that niggas ain't wanna come fuck with me, but that's just part of it. And I'm the one taking the blame for it, they the one taking the aim for it. They ain't got no shame in the game for it, till I come back around with that pain for it. You gon' pay for the time you was hating, you gon' pay for the time you was dirty macking, you gon' pay for the time that you hit on women, you pay for the time that you flipped on family. We was together, down for whatever. How the hell did we just fall apart? You was my brother, know that I love you. I would've gave you my own heart, and I would've never owned any level. Think about letting that thing spark, knowing that we got the same heart. It's crazy we ain't got the same heart.
Be sure to check out the description below and give them the credit that they deserve. This will be another double feature episode, so be sure to stick around and check out our coverage of both of today's interactions. On August 23rd, 2020, City of Chicago police officers Jonathan Ridgner and Nicholas Abramson were on patrol when they observed Leroy Kennedy, who was walking on a city sidewalk at the time, engage in what they believed to be quote-unquote suspicious behavior and decided to detain him. Officer Ridgner ran up behind Mr. Kennedy, grabbed him by the neck, slammed him into a brick wall, took him to the ground, ground and smashed his head onto the sidewalk more than once. A group of witnesses began to gather, and the interaction that followed was captured on officer body camera.
Damn, let me pause that real quick, because that was a black cop. So, you know, don't think because you around one of them, you got the complexion for the protection, because you don't. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. This supersedes race. Let's get into it, though. Let's see what's going on.
Just you. Take the come on. You just bust. Okay, you just bust. You playing, bro. You playing, bro. You playing, bro. You playing. You better. Helping you. Helping you. You just face up like this. Now you just face up. You was trying to fight me. Man, you was trying to fight them. You touching me for no reason, bro. I ain't got shit on you, bro. I ain't take off when I walk, though. I ain't run, I walk, though. I'm out here, put him in the stop pushing him, bro. I'm gonna get some medical attention, bro. Bro, back up. Back up. I'll be that. Back up. I got an ambulance coming for him. Back up. Give me some space. I'm trying to get medical attention, bro. Because you did. He did. It is what it is. That's why we don't like y'all. Chill, y'all. My face up, bro. I ain't got bro. I have nothing. No drugs. Why y'all? Let me vote, bro. I walk some, bro. Bro. Nigga, move my hands. Bro, you want to search me, bro? I'll have up the copy. You search me. You can search me hands down, everything. I don't have nothing.
Damn, that knot on his head look crazy. He got one of them Looney Tune knots on his joint. Damn, I feel for the brother. That's crazy. It's not even funny. He's still moving around, or he's still acting. That's crazy.
Let's go then. Take that.
He want to slam somebody else. Look at the white girl trying to get in and defuse it. Yeah, get in front of him. You know, he might slam you. Shout out her, trying to help at least.
I appreciate you guys. Stay right there. That's fine.
He put the gloves on.
Monday.com, the
Where
opposite
are
of
they
any work
at? Let
platform
me
we
see
tried
where
in the
they
past.
at, man.
We tried other
This
work
is wild.
management
He cost
platforms,
their town
not naming names.
$200,000. I guess he about. Let's see what happens here.
We did. We know. We're not lying about it. Right. What the force for? We start fighting it out. He jumped through the gate. You try to talk to him. You pulled up.
It was the black cop too. That's just crazy. It wasn't even the white cop. It was the black cop.
He did. I understand. But Buddy was coming up behind him. Okay? Trying to pull him away.
Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely, man. I'm gonna keep saying it. The biggest gang in America.
What's the issue? You need more training. I need more training. You need safety guys. You got to miss the What's the issue?
They say, yeah, I do.
Him right here. He said he gonna catch a body out here. Everything he came up to me with this. You picked up a bag. It's on camera. I did. I will.
As the crowd confronts the officers about their actions, Officer Abramson responds with insults and profanity. As we have discussed before here on ATA, the Supreme Court explained in the 1987 case of Houston versus Hill that, quote, the First Amendment protects a significant amount of verbal criticism and challenge directed at police officers. Speech is often provocative and challenging, but it is nevertheless protected against censorship or punishment, unless shown likely to produce a clear and present danger of a serious substantive evil that rises far above public inconvenience, annoyance, or unrest. Accordingly, it is highly likely that a court would conclude the bystanders' critiques of Officer Ridgner and Officer Abramson were protected speech under the First Amendment. Additionally, according to the Chicago Police Department General Order GO2-03, which outlines the department's so-called community policing mission and vision, officers should employ the concepts of so-called procedural justice and legitimacy, with a focus on giving others a voice or listening, neutrality in decision-making, respectful treatment, and trustworthiness. Applying these principles, the procedure also requires that, quote, all interactions with members of the public will be conducted with the utmost respect and courtesy and be based on the concepts of procedural justice and legitimacy. During each interaction, department members will strive to attain the highest degree of ethical behavior and professional conduct at all times. Now, in this situation, Officer Ridgner and Officer Abramson seem to be in clear violation of department policy, as they failed to listen to the bystanders' complaints or treat them with respect and courtesy, with Officer Abramson in particular directing profanity at the crowd and even telling them that he was going to, quote-unquote, catch a body.
I wasn't. Your ass was inside. I'm intimidated. There's something obviously wrong with it.
Why are you pacing like that?
Running. Remind me to take this. I got you, okay? I got you. We got you. And nobody gonna treat you badly. I'm gonna get you water and everything, okay?
Let me go see his sister, man.
Put their hand
Man,
on.
he jumped out, he grabbed him. He didn't try to get aggressive with him. He picked him up and slammed him, man. I know. On the guy in the car.
When
the black
the
officer
gentleman
picked
told
him
him,
up.
the officer grabbed him and started choking him.
I saw it. All right.
My suggestion is, if you want to make a complaint, if you call COFA, but honestly, I mean, it looks like the guy's under arrest or something.
Man, that shit. I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it.
We jumped. What y'all doing? I'm trying to see what you're arrested for.
What's he arrested for?
They instantly start fighting. But you don't know what you're arrested for?
I'll be arrested for.
Hey,
no, hey, see my face. Do you see my face?
The bystanders repeatedly ask why Mr. Kennedy was arrested, and the officers do not give them a clear answer. According to the incident report for Mr. Kennedy's arrest, the officers, quote-unquote, detained Mr. Kennedy because he allegedly looked directly in their direction and stiffened his body by locking his shoulders and torso. The report also claimed that Mr. Kennedy's eyes, quote-unquote, enlarged, now quoting, meaning that his eyebrows rose, which produced a shocked look on his face, and that he, now quoting again, adjusted his hands and manipulated his front lap area, which the officers believed was indicative of an attempt to conceal a handgun. However, as we have explored in previous episodes of ATA, law enforcement officers cannot legally detain individuals unless they have reasonable suspicion to believe that they are engaged in criminal activity. In the 2013 case of U.S. versus Williams, the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals, which has jurisdiction over Illinois, determined that officers did not have reasonable suspicion to believe that an individual was armed and dangerous based on the facts that he had his hands in his pocket or near his waistband, that he avoided eye contact, and that he began to move away from the area when the police arrived, even though the encounter occurred in a high crime area and the police were responding to a 911 call reporting weapons. In reaching this conclusion, the court reasoned that, now quoting, most people, when confronted by a police officer, are likely to act nervous, avoid eye contact, and even potentially shift their bodies as if to move away from the area, thus making such behaviors of very little import to a reasonable suspicion determination. Well, given this precedent, it seems unlikely that Mr. Kennedy's potentially nervous behavior described in the police report constituted sufficient evidence to give the officers reasonable suspicion. As such, it is probable that a court would conclude that any detention of Mr. Kennedy under these circumstances would violate the Fourth Amendment, let alone the forceful detention carried out by Officer Ridgner and Officer Abramson.
They started grabbing on Ridgner as soon as he walked up, grabbing his back, grabbing back his vest, pulling him away. We didn't even say
From the takedown? Yeah. I see you.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a low grade. 514-891-4.
Angelo Gray, I'm from job. Angelo Gray, I'm researcher. I don't understand why you still up.
What's up?
Why you still up?
Why am I still what?
Why the you still up?
Why am I still what?
You heard what I said.
Look, Patel 18129.
Damn sure gonna know. My lawyer come holler at y'all, damn sure gonna know.
Cool.
Damn sure finna get y'all cool.
Alright, that's good.
Why you grab me like? Why you grab me for though? I don't get why he touching me, bro.
After his arrest, Mr. Kennedy was taken to the hospital with injuries to his head and wrist. He was then transported to jail, where he remained for 4 days and was charged with multiple counts of aggravated battery. However, on December 18th, 2020, all charges against Mr. Kennedy were dismissed. On February 17th, 2021, Mr. Kennedy filed a civil rights lawsuit against Officer Ridgener, Officer Abramson, and the city of Chicago.
To try to charge him
on
with
June 10th,
something.
2022, Mr. Kennedy agreed to dismiss the suit in exchange for a $195,000 settlement. The Chicago Civilian Office of Police Accountability, or COPA, investigated the encounter and determined that Officer
Let me
Ridgener and
pause
Officer
that.
Abramson
He got slammed on his head. He got a knot. They gave him 200 bands though. A lot of y'all done got slammed on your head for way less. I'm just saying. It pays, you know, to know the law. It pays to know the law. I done slammed people on their head for way less. Way less. Okay. Let's keep it moving.
detained Mr. Kennedy without justification, arrested Mr. Kennedy without justification, made false, misleading, incomplete, and/or inaccurate statements when completing reports related to the encounter, and failed to properly activate their body-worn cameras. The investigation also found that Officer Ridgener grabbed Mr. Kennedy by the throat and took him to the ground without justification, and that Officer Abramson stated words to the effect of, quote, "I'm going to catch a body today," and failed to report the excessive force used by Officer Ridgener against Mr. Kennedy. As discipline, the Chief Administrator of the Office of Police Accountability recommended that Officer Ridgener and Officer Abramson be terminated from the department. The Chief Administrator also recommended that Supervisors Lieutenant Kevin Keefe and Sergeant Nicholas Urban be terminated for making or approving one or more false, misleading, incomplete, and/or inaccurate statements when approving the tactical response reports completed by Officer Ridgener and Officer Abramson. Under the Chicago PD disciplinary process, a termination complaint must be filed and decided by the Chicago Police Board before an officer can be fired. And as of the date of writing this episode, the board has not released a decision relating to the termination of Officer Ridgener, Officer Abramson, Lieutenant Keefe, or Sergeant Urban. However, Officer Ridgener's LinkedIn page shows his employment at the Chicago PD ended in July of 2024, and that he is currently employed as a police officer in the village of Broadview, Illinois. Overall, the Chicago officers get an F for forcefully detaining Mr. Kennedy without any legitimate justification for doing so, employing a level of force that would have been excessive even if they had a reason to seize him, and maintaining hostile and confrontational demeanors throughout the encounter with both Mr. Kennedy and the witnesses that gathered to protest his arrest. The lack of leadership and professionalism displayed by all of the officers involved in this encounter was truly astounding, and rather than attempting to control and de-escalate the situation with the witnesses, the officers argued with them and actually escalated the chaos, with Officer Abramson in particular egging on the crowd, seemingly threatening them with lethal force and repeatedly directing profanity at the angry citizens. This level of unprofessionalism is entirely unacceptable in a police officer at any level, and in this encounter, it is clear that the officer's response to the bystanders further damaged an already strained police-community relationship. Mr. Kennedy gets an A, because although he did appear to step away from the officers as they ran towards him, this is understandable given the fact that he was being quickly and forcibly detained for no apparent reason. And Mr. Kennedy took appropriate and effective action after the encounter to seek accountability for the constitutional violations the officers subjected him to. While it is unclear whether Mr. Kennedy himself filed a complaint against the officers, an investigation was conducted, with termination of the officers involved being recommended, and Mr. Mr. Kennedy did file a lawsuit and ultimately obtained a sizable reward for the officer's misconduct. Let's move on to the second encounter. On October 3rd, 2023, Michael Donovan, the owner of the Bravo Moto YouTube channel, was riding his motorcycle with several other motorcyclists when New York State Police Trooper Christopher Cusack initiated a traffic stop on the group. Mr. Donovan, who was filming the ride, recorded the encounter that followed and uploaded the footage to his YouTube channel.
Just go down there. Get your phone out at the top of the hill. It's down on the right.
Don't touch my. I'll turn it off.
Turn it off.
I said don't touch. Give me my. Yo, what the, bro? Yo, give me my.
Sit back.
Did you see me commit a crime?
I got reports of you.
I don't give a. Did you see me commit a fucking crime?
Who's the other one that just took off?
Did you, trooper?
You want to get arrested?
You want him? You really?
Turn around.
I want my.
You're going to get him back.
I didn't do.
Took off on me.
I
Doesn't
didn't
matter.
do.
Turn your bike off.
I didn't do a thing. You got no. You're right, bro. You got no. I need my key if you want it.
Trooper Cusack performs a blockade-style maneuver by driving his vehicle in front of the motorcyclists, orders Mr. Donovan to turn off his motorcycle, and takes the key out of the motorcycle when Mr. Donovan does not immediately shut off the bike. It is highly likely that a court would conclude that Trooper Cusack would be within his authority to conduct a traffic stop in this situation. Mr. Donovan's motorcycle was clearly stopped past the red light, so-called stop line, in violation of Section 1111 of the New York Vehicle and Traffic Law. And, as the Second Circuit Court of Appeals, which has jurisdiction over New York, explained in the 2009 case of U.S. versus Stewart, quote, "The reasonable suspicion of a traffic violation provides a sufficient basis under the Fourth Amendment for law enforcement officers to make a traffic stop." Trooper Cusack also mentioned receiving some sort of report about the motorcyclist's conduct, although he did not provide the details of the call, so this information could also have contributed to Trooper Cusack's reasonable suspicion. Now, while in some circumstances, a traffic stop that is supported by reasonable suspicion or even probable cause can be held unconstitutional if the scope of the detention surpasses what is reasonable, in the 1985 case of U.S. versus Hensley, the Supreme Court determined that officers are, now quoting, authorized to take such steps as were reasonably necessary to protect their personal safety and to maintain the status quo during the course of the stop. And although Trooper Cusack's taking of Mr. Donovan's keys would certainly constitute a seizure under the Fourth Amendment, courts that have reviewed the issue have generally concluded that officers may temporarily take a driver's keys during a lawful traffic stop when the seizure is justified by concerns regarding officer safety or potential flight by the detainee. As such, it is possible that a court would conclude that Trooper Cusack's actions were justified, particularly given the concerns that he voiced about one of the motorcyclists who had ridden off before he could initiate the traffic stop, and the fact that he likely had probable cause, not just reasonable suspicion, to detain Mr. Donovan based on the location where he had stopped the vehicle.
I need my key if you want it. Buddy, I want my key if you want my... I don't know who the you think you are touching my... You got no right, bro. You did not see me commit a crime.
Peace, man. How you feeling today?
Peace, God. Peace, man. Man, blessed. Can't complain, bro. Can't complain, man. Where the smoke at?
Where the smoke at? It's in the air right now, man. It's in the air right now, man. Get somebody up here, man. You can have a stage. I'm just kicking it, you know. I'm gonna play this though. Drop that link back there.
Fine. That's it. I didn't break the law.
Where are you supposed to be parked?
I didn't
Are you parked
break.
behind the stop line?
No, you
broke
just
the
did
law.
that.
You
You
broke the
just
law.
did that. It's
broke
on
the law.
video.
I'm fine with it on video.
Yeah.
And I'll seize it for evidence.
No, you won't.
Break any crimes.
No, you won't. I didn't break a crime. You didn't see it.
Sit
You're
down.
too wise.
All right, you know what? No. Put your hands behind your back.
No.
Put your hands behind your back. You're getting detained.
I didn't do.
You're getting detained.
Dude, get my helmet off.
You're getting detained.
Let me get
Stop.
my. I'm not.
The reason why he's getting detained.
I'm what? Yo, you gotta get my helmet off, bro. You're
Failing
making
to
me
identify
claustrophobic.
himself.
Call Trooper Donovan.
Trooper Cusack handcuffs Mr.
He know
Donovan and
troopers
claims
by
that he's being
name. That's
detained
funny.
for, quote, failing to identify himself, despite the fact that he never requested that Mr. Donovan provide identification. Under New York state law, the failure to exhibit a driver's license when demanded by an officer during a traffic stop is not an independent offense, as it is in many other states. However, according to Section 507 of the New York Vehicle and Traffic Law, quote, failure by a licensee to exhibit a license to any police officer shall be presumptive evidence that he is not duly licensed. In other words, if a driver fails to provide their license to an officer during a traffic stop, they can be issued a citation for unlicensed driving in violation of Section 509 of the New York Vehicle and Traffic Law. However, because Mr. Donovan did not fail to display his license, as Trooper Cusack did not ask him for it, it is highly unlikely that a court would determine that Trooper Cusack had probable cause to believe that Mr.
That one weak though. You ready for your debate coming up, Emmanuel?
Oh, you already know that, man. You know, when you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, man.
Hey, the 17th.
December 17th, man. December 17th.
December 17th.
Somebody
right
gonna
there on the
learn something,
screen.
bro.
You see it right there.
Somebody gonna learn something, man.
What you gonna do?
I don't know, man. Hopefully I learn something.
I thought you was gonna be doing the teaching.
Hey, I'm saying I know somebody gonna learn something from me, but I'm saying hopefully I learn something too. Shit.
Let's go. I just switched the background up. Okay, let me see what else I can catch on here one time, because there was a couple. You know what?
I like just passing out belt, not learning that, man. I like
That's been a lot of that going around with you, man. You just been with it everywhere you go, man. You've been bullying the chats, bullying the panels. I see you, man. You been spread your wings over here, man. I like that. That's what I want to see. Oh, my screen still sharing? Oh, yeah, y'all can see my whole little demo there. Okay. Well, then let's see what's up with... Dang, I wanted to watch some stuff later. I just don't remember what it was. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I did want to watch that. That's probably... I don't know. I don't know how some of this stuff got in here. Okay. Yeah, man. You're going to have to get in the ring with me, man. Coming up soon. We got some new Titans on the squad, so, you know, we're going to have to do like a little gauntlet where we all pass the topic around and see who can hold their own the best. I'm a little rusty, though, man. I got to, you know. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You dropping that link around?
Yeah, I done sent it in all through chat somewhere.
And them boys scared, man. It's all right. Even Superman need a day off, right? Even Superman need a day off.
What we got this week, man?
We got a little lineup coming up this week, man.
Have anybody ain't nobody second round matched up yet, huh? Well, Honey matched up with what? Taz for the second round?
Somebody. We gotta see what's popping with that.
Pull that bracket up real quick.
We gonna check that out this week. I'll pull that bracket up one time. Image file. Where is that? I got it behind one of these videos. Oh, here it go. Matter of fact, I can go over here. Here we go. It's on the end of this. It muted you out when I started playing. You gotta unmute yourself.
Okay.
Damn, I can't pause it, but yeah. We got Pam versus Anu. We got Chris Harris versus Apollo. And we got Silky versus Yaya. Last 3 debates in the first round.
Hey, wasn't Silky versus Yaya supposed to be tonight?
It was. Yaya had to reschedule. He said he had a family emergency. Everybody get one reschedule the whole tournament, man. So I give everybody some grace. But yeah, this $500 is on the line, so we got to speed this up. You know what I'm saying? On rescheduling, it's come to an end. You know, the holidays just passed. I understand. I know y'all had to go out and make that extra money with the season change too, so that way you can get your kids in some nice winter gear. But you should have, you know, everybody should be caught up by now. You know, Christmas is here. I see. Yeah, it's about to be real tight for some folks. You know what I'm saying? But
Exactly. I'm trying to get the 500 before Christmas.
Everybody trying to get people trying to get to work so they can get this extra money. That's why they missing these tournaments. I'm thinking that was my first assumption. But you know, one reschedule for everybody in the tournament. And let me run this commercial right here to let everybody know who's in it. Some of these names have changed, but here you go.
These are not just speakers. These are thinkers, forged in fire. Warriors of words stepping into destiny. Welcome to the Coliseum of arguments, where logic clashes with conviction and ideas spill like blood in the sand. 16 titans, 16 minds, one path to immortality. They come seeking truth, they fight for redemption, they burn for revenge. Featuring the intellectual elite of the Titans Debate League. Every round a new war, every word a new weapon. Every titan ready to fall or rise in glory. This is not debate, this is combat. Step into the Coliseum of arguments. Only the brave speak here. Are you not entertained?
You know, that's how we coming. That's definitely how we coming. Image file. You know, if you don't know, now you know, right? Am I still muted? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So if you don't know, now you know.
Yeah, it's cold. This season feel like winter.
You know,
When is the first day of winter? I don't even be keeping up with all that shit.
Yeah, we gotta get it popping, man. Yeah, we got who else we got scheduled this week? We got Chris Harris next week on one of them days, and then we got so Silky rescheduled, and then we got Pam this Wednesday coming up. So yeah, I'll share that real quick too.
You said you finna share what? My phone had connected to my car. I couldn't even hear.
Oh yeah, we got Pam versus Anu this Wednesday. So should the Fraternal Order of Police be disbanded? That's the question. And they're bringing answers. Anu says yes, he's taking the affirmative. And Pandemics is taking the negative on this debate. So We're in for one hell of a debate. Shout out everybody in the stands.
I was trying to give for real some pointers taking that affirmative, man. That's real tough. But you almost got the advantage taking the affirmative. You just got to make sure you keep coming back to that opening position and putting clarity on it. Because a lot of times the negative is going to try and abuse their own position.
Who you think gonna take this one?
It's tough, man. You got two war dogs. I mean, Laurel might be coming off of unwritten L and an L, or however you want to put it, but Laurel, he ain't no weakling. So, man, you got two dogs. I would take the stance that the police is good for the people. So,
Okay.
I know being from where we from, that's a hard position to take sometimes, but yeah, man, I actually think on a mass scale, the police is good for the people.
Let's go. I think Anu was taking the position that the fraternal order of police and the actual police are not the same. That the fraternal order is the like Masonic. It's something different. It's like a gang inside a gang, I guess. But I can't explain it. I don't know. I just keep hearing them say the one thing that they're not the same. So I'm excited to see what he brings on this one. This one's gonna be exciting, man.
I keep saying we just got to make sure he come back to his opening position and shedding light on the fact that he's not talking about the grand scheme of law enforcement when he say police. He's talking about a specific sector.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see. In the face-off, he brought it up. Did you want to watch some of that? I could pull some of that up, but yeah, he went over some of it in the face-off. So if you didn't check it out, make sure you go back and get a bite of that. It's on the page in the past lives. Yeah, tighten up. You better tighten up. I ain't see that one. It's going, man.
I'm finna drive through a spot right quick. I'm finna mute up.
Bet. I'm about to play this video.
Pointing firearms and the right and welcome to Audit the Audit, where we sort out the who and what and the right and wrong of police interactions. This episode covers suspect descriptions, pointing firearms, and professionalism, and is brought to us by azcentral.com and the Arizona Republic's channel. Be sure to check out the description below and give them the credit that they deserve. On August 29th, 2020, Hawthorne Suites hotel manager Sean Hoover called the non-emergency police line in Tempe, Arizona to request that two individuals who were suspected of conducting illegal activities be removed from the property. After making the call, Mr. Hoover and his employee, Trevanye Kumpian, encountered a man and woman smoking in a stairwell with the exit door propped open. When Mr. Hoover asked them to leave, the female exited the premises, but the male suspect allegedly pulled out a gun. Mr. Hoover then told the man to put away the gun and leave, and the man complied. Shortly after this incident occurred, Officer Ronald Kurzaya of the Tempe Police Department responded to the original call and approached Mr. Hoover in the hotel lobby. The interaction that followed was captured on Officer Kurzaya's body camera.
Hey, sir, how we doing?
We got a whole other issue. Some guy just pulled a gun out on us.
Thousands of companies already trust Pearl, our AI phone agent that speaks and acts like a human. But there was one thing left to solve.
I'm Got a 417
The
charge
hell?
here. I'm gonna need some additional units. Manager's advising this male subject here just pulled a firearm on him. Where is he now? White male, black male, what do we got? Is he a white male, a black male? Come on. White male, he's gonna be wearing a black shirt, tan pants.
He's gonna be coming down the staircase and exit out that door right there.
Tempor. He's probably gonna be poking out on the west exit. He's walking out now. Get inside now. Get the out. 41, I'm gonna hold on that exit. Responding units, if you're coming up Price, I want you to come in that entrance and hold. Put your hands up. One at gunpoint. Step out.
I work here.
You work here?
I was keeping the door closed, man.
Okay, turn around.
I work here.
That's fine.
Come on, man, you don't gotta
Step
put no
this way.
gun at me. I got my
Hey,
hands
listen
up.
to me. Listen, okay?
I got my hands
I am responding to somebody with a firearm who matches your description. Do you understand that?
Despite the fact that the suspect was described as a white man wearing a black shirt and tan pants, Officer Kurzaya points his firearm at Mr. Kumpian, a black male in a white shirt and dark pants, and claims he is looking for an individual with a firearm who matches Mr. Kumpian's description. Under the so-called mere presence doctrine established by the Supreme Court in the 1979 case of Ybarra versus Illinois, an individual's mere presence, or so-called mere propinquity to criminal activity alone, does not support probable cause to search or arrest that individual. However, in the 1999 case of U.S. versus Buckner, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, which has jurisdiction over Arizona, held that while, quote, the mere presence doctrine has logical application where the facts and circumstances do not support an inference that the individual is connected to the proximate criminal activity, in the case at hand, where the defendant was a passenger in a car that was procured under suspicious circumstances and loaded with a commercial quantity of marijuana, quote, a prudent and experienced police officer might reasonably suspect that the passenger is involved in drug smuggling. Courts have also found that reasonable suspicion may exist even when an individual's appearance does not entirely match the description of a suspect. For instance, in the 1995 case of Alexander versus County of Los Angeles, the Ninth Circuit upheld the detention of two men despite discrepancies between the description of the suspects and the individual's appearance, including the fact that one suspect was older and not as heavy as described and did not have a gold tooth. The court justified its decision, which it referred to as a so-called close question, by arguing that the individuals matched some aspects of the description because they were driving a similar car, and one of the men was wearing a blue and white striped shirt and had a mustache. In this situation, Mr. Kumpian did not in any way match Mr. Hoover's description of the suspect, as he was the wrong race and wearing opposite colored clothing to the description. And for this reason alone, Mr. Kumpian would have a strong argument that Officer Kurzaya did not have the reasonable suspicion necessary to detain him. However, in the 2022 case of United States versus Arteaga, the U.S. District Court in the Northern District of California, which is in the Ninth Circuit, held that officers had reasonable suspicion to detain a Hispanic man who was, quote, within an arm's length of a BMW vehicle that was allegedly involved in a road rage shooting, despite the fact that the suspect was described as black. The court reasoned that, quote, the officers would have been justified in detaining anyone who appeared to be connected to the BMW, and that even if the defendant's race lessened the likelihood that he was the shooter, quote, it did not remove the possibility that he was still involved in the road rage incident. Therefore, while it is certainly possible that a court could determine that Officer Kurzaya did not have reasonable suspicion to detain Mr. Kumpian because he clearly did not meet the description of the suspect, it is also conceivable that a court would conclude that Officer Kurzaya was within his authority to detain Mr. Kumpian because he exited the door where Mr. Hoover informed Mr. Kurzaya that the suspect was headed, and accordingly may have been involved with the suspect.
Come here.
I got my hands up, man. Take the gun off me. For real, I got my hands up.
Where's your ID at? No, you don't get to tell me what to do. Where's your ID at?
Take the gun off me, man.
No.
Where your supervisor at? You gonna shoot me?
No.
Another person on the news?
Get on your knees.
I didn't do nothing
Shut
to
the
you.
with that on your knees.
I didn't do nothing to you. Remember this. I need your badge number in your name.
You'll get everything you need.
Yeah,
Put everything on the ground.
I didn't do nothing to you. I got my hands up and I work here. Go call the manager.
41, where are my other units at? Just hang tight, okay?
But this ain't. I work here. All you gotta do is call the manager and take the.
Who's your manager? Stop telling me what to do.
Sean Hoover.
Okay, what is your name?
Trey.
41, can we get somebody to get the complainant on the line and find out if there's an employee here by the name of Trey?
You don't got to hold no gun. My hands are up. I'm not a threat to you.
Are you a cop?
I'm not a threat to you.
Are you a cop?
I'm not a threat to you.
You don't tell me what a threat to me is. You don't know.
Just because you're a cop don't mean you can hold a gun at somebody whenever you get good and damn ready. I put my hands up and I'm
When
not.
I'm responding to somebody with a firearm, I can do what I need to stay safe and go home to my family. Do you understand that?
My hands are up.
Mr. Kumpian tells Officer Kerzaya that he can't point a gun at him just because he's a cop. And Officer Kerzaya replies that when he's responding to a call involving a firearm, he can, quote, do what he needs to stay safe. According to the Tempe Police Department, Order 12.101, which includes the use of force policy for the department, pointing a firearm at an individual is recognized as a type of force, referred to in the policy as a so-called show of force. In general, the policy states that officers, quote, may use force which is objectively reasonable based upon the facts and circumstances known or reasonably believed to exist at the time of the incident, and directs that, quote, employees will not use more force than is objectively reasonable to accomplish their lawful purpose. The policy also requires officers to consider the 3 factors for assessing whether force is excessive that are outlined in the 1989 Supreme Court case of Graham versus Connor, which include the severity of the crime, whether the suspect poses an immediate threat to the safety of the law enforcement officer or others, and whether the suspect is actively resisting arrest or attempting to evade arrest by flight. Based on these factors, courts have held that pointing a firearm at an individual can constitute excessive force in some situations, even if no physical contact is made. For instance, in the 2000 case of Robinson versus Solano County, the Ninth Circuit noted that, quote, in cases involving investigatory or Terry stops, we have consistently applied the principle that drawing weapons and using handcuffs or other restraints is unreasonable in many situations, and determined that the use of a drawn gun pointed at a suspect's head from close range constituted excessive force because the crime under investigation was at most a misdemeanor, the suspect was apparently unarmed and approaching the officers in a peaceful way, and there were no dangerous or exigent circumstances apparent at the time of the detention. In addition to constituting excessive force, there are some circumstances where the use of drawn weapons can transform a Terry stop into an arrest, which must be supported by probable cause. In the 1974 case of United States versus Strickler, the Ninth Circuit concluded that an armed approach to a surrounded vehicle constituted an arrest where it was clear that the officers had no legitimate fear for their safety and only tenuous reasons to believe that the occupants of the car were involved in criminal activity. Applying the Graham factors to this situation, although the underlying criminal offense involved was more serious and involved a firearm, Mr. Kumpian was not holding a weapon, did not appear to pose a threat to anyone, and was completely compliant with Officer Kerzaya's orders. Coupled with the fact that Mr. Kumpian clearly did not match the description of the individual alleged to have a firearm, it seems likely that a court would conclude that pointing a firearm at Mr. Kumpian for an extended period of time constituted excessive force, and it would also likely violate the Tempe Police Department's use of force policy. Likewise, if a court determined that Officer Kerzaya's use of force transformed the detention into an arrest, it would almost certainly hold that Officer Kerzaya did not have the probable cause necessary to arrest Mr. Kumpian through the extended pointing of his firearm.
I have somebody on the phone right now with Sean trying to confirm if you're an employee or not. As soon as I verify that, you can go and then you can get whatever information you need. Do you understand that?
It's crazy, huh? Hey, can you record this? He steadily got his gun on me and I got my hands up.
I'm recording too.
And I got my hands up. I know I work here, but he steadily got his gun.
That's fine, just stay back.
I got my hands up on the ground. He still got a gun pointed on me. Anybody come up?
Did he verify that somebody by the name of Trey works here? Get out of here, Trey.
Yeah, thank you.
You can stand by in the lobby. If you need all my information, I'll be more than happy to give it to you. Have a great afternoon. Hey, if we have Sean on the line, can you give me any more intel on if this guy exited yet or not? I exited the building to stand on the door, and Sean was watching him on video. Yeah, I need at least one additional to come to the lobby and meet up with Hoover. And then I need... Stop right there. I've got another one to come. Get your out of here now! I've got one fleeing back inside. Hispanic or white male, approximately 30 years old, black bandana, white t-shirt, gray shorts. Stop right there. Me? Where did he go? Where the did he go?
I ain't got nothing to do with that, man.
Where is he?
That ain't got nothing to do with me.
No shit.
So why are you talking to me like that?
God, get out of the way.
I'm not
go.
away. I can't
go now.
While pursuing another suspect who fled after Officer Kerzaya pointed his firearm at him while he was attempting to leave the hotel with his bicycle. Officer Kerzaya screams at an individual in the hallway to tell him where the other individual went, and continues to speak harshly with him when he does not provide the information requested. As we have discussed many times on ATA, citizens generally do not have a duty to assist officers with their investigations, and the individual in the hallway was well within his rights to simply inform Officer Kerzaya he had nothing to do with the situation. Officer Kerzaya, on the other hand, was required to follow the Tempe Police Department's Code of Conduct, which is contained in Department Order 3.201. The policy states that, quote, police employees shall always conduct themselves both on and off duty in such a manner as to reflect favorably on the department, and that, quote, police employees are expected to conduct their personal and professional lives in such a manner as to avoid adverse reflection upon themselves or the department. It also notes that being, quote, abusive in attitude, language, behavior, or conduct toward the public is considered a so-called violation of procedure, as is speaking, quote, an unprofessional, inappropriate, or offensive remark. It seems likely that Officer Kerzaya's treatment of the individual in the hallway, as well as his conduct in interacting with other members of the public throughout this interaction, violated the department code of conduct.
I'm just inside the west entrance. I don't know where the hell he went. He's good. Get him out. Where did he go, Sean? Jesus Christ. The guy with the gun. Where the hell did he go?
He walked outside.
Jesus Christ. Sean just told me that he went back inside. He may have popped out the main entrance. Dude, which way did he go?
I told you. And why do you have my employee a black male at gunpoint? He's clearly not white.
Somebody else go talk to Sean. The manager is explaining that she may have fled out the east entrance now, but he doesn't.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform made for anyone with an idea and a drive to bring it to life. Describe what you want and watch it take shape. You can plan, customize, and expand in any direction. From tools built for one to platforms ready for many. From passion projects to enterprise-grade systems. Everything is built in and ready to launch. It's a new world of creation where you can go as far as your imagination takes you. Can you imagine it? Let's make your dream a reality right now.
Hi. My camera can't go on mute, so I'm going to turn it off.
As he speaks with another officer outside the hotel, Officer Kerzaya appears to turn off his body camera. It was later reported that the other officers who arrived on the scene completed the investigation, and the armed suspect was never found. The Tempe Police Department launched an internal investigation into Officer Kerzaya's conduct and found that he violated several policies during the interaction. As a result of the investigation, Officer Kerzaya was given a 2-week unpaid suspension and placed in an administrative role with the department for at least 1 year. He was also required to take part in a performance improvement process. In his official response to the department's internal investigation, Officer Kerzaya wrote that, quote, I understand that my actions have caused a tremendous amount of anguish for many different people, and I cannot convey enough how remorseful I am for my actions and the aftermath that so many people have been forced to deal with and continue to deal with to this day. Officer Kerzaya's immediate supervisor, who was also on scene at the hotel, received a 40-hour unpaid suspension. Notably, Officer Kerzaya was also involved in a controversial use of force case in June of 2019, where he deployed a taser on an unarmed man while holding his 1-year-old child in his own home. After the Hawthorne Suites incident, the Arizona Peace Officers Standards and Training Board opened an investigation into Officer Kerzaya, and in early 2022, Officer Kerzaya voluntarily and permanently relinquished his Arizona Peace Officer certification without admitting any misconduct or failure to meet minimum qualifications. According to state rules, Officer Kerzaya will be permanently banned from re-entering law enforcement in Arizona for relinquishing his certification while facing potential disciplinary action. After the encounter, Mr. Kumpian hired prominent civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who also led George Floyd's family's legal team, to represent him. In September of 2020, he filed a $2.5 million notice of claim against the city of Tempe as a result of the incident. And on December 9th, 2020, the Tempe City Council unanimously approved a $300,000 settlement agreement that did not include any admission of liability. Overall, Officer Kerzaya gets an F for pointing a firearm at Mr. Kumpian when he in no way matched the description of the suspect and was entirely compliant, and speaking to multiple citizens in a rude and completely unprofessional manner. The way that Officer Kerzaya pointed his firearm at anyone who crossed his path demonstrated a complete disregard for the physical and mental well-being of everyone who happened to be at the hotel during the incident, and a total lack of respect for the potentially life-ending power he wielded by carrying a deadly weapon. Throughout the incident, Officer Kerzaya's actions appeared to be driven by a sense of fear for his own well-being. And while fear is certainly a natural human instinct, effective police officers must be able to conquer their fears and behave responsibly and constitutionally despite feeling afraid. Officer Kerzaya's conduct during this encounter demonstrated that he did not have the temperament necessary to do this, and I believe that relinquishing his peace officer certification was ultimately the right decision. Mr. Kumpian gets an A+ for complying with Officer Kerzaya's orders, respectfully challenging his unreasonable use of force, and taking prompt and effective legal action against Officer Kerzaya. After the incident, Mr. Kumpian explained that in his response to the encounter, he was at least partially motivated by fear that Officer Kerzaya was going to kill someone in the near future. And based on the body camera footage from this incident, this concern was more than justified. I commend Mr. Kumpian for taking action to protect the public from a potentially dangerous officer, and would encourage other citizens to learn from his example of challenging police misconduct after the completion of the encounter through the legal system. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out my second channel for even more police interaction content. Welcome to Audit the Audit, where we sort out the who and what and the right and wrong of police.